a sunny Saturday afternoon.
Hello.
I have hair all over me. Thank you, Fado. I wanted to grab my water, and now I have hair. It's my fault for putting the water on the ground.
You made a mistake.
I did at that. Ursula, why are you looking at your phone and not drawing?
Because it doesn't say live.
Oh my god, it's live. Just trust me.
Okay. I will trust. Oh, it is.
Yeah, it just takes a bit to load.
Oh, no.
And every single week, we just sit there going, hello, 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 waiting for it to start when there's a delay. And we should know that by now because YouTube has a delay. Okay?
You assume I know things?
I don't know why.
I know.
Hello and welcome. How is everyone? Hello, Fruitiest Ichigo. That's an adorable
so
name.
fruity.
Shein. Jam. Hermes Holmes. Oh. Simp Moodles. Lavender Rabbits. Katrine. Oakland. Sketchy Bagel. I know Sketchy Bagel. Zandel Video. I guess I know Gem too. We're getting used to you. Silly Me. Mouth Productions. I am producing many things with my mouth right now. Like saliva and syllables. How is everyone doing this fine weekend?
Hello.
Oh yeah, Ursula's here too.
Hey.
I guess we fought.
We did.
That's how we know you're here.
We did a little fight.
Punch punch. How has everyone's life been?
Mine's good.
Yeah. It's good.
It's all right.
You just on your phone looking at what they're saying?
Yeah, looking at the chat. The chit chat.
I feel like you probably should have set up on something.
Probably my tablet.
Yeah, probably your tablet would have been better than your phone.
Yeah, it's all the way upstairs, Joel.
Well, I guess you're stuck with your phone.
Okay, I'll live with this.
Exactly.
Non-stop comics. That's my life.
Getting used to me, imagine that. I'm getting used to your names because I'll say them really loud. At the start of the stream. Youngway the Artist. Bando Cannon. Oh wait, we already did this. I saw Productivity Hangout and I'm working on my comic, so here I be. Fado is just obsessed with my hand. The little doggo, he's just like, your hand is off the couch, which means it is for petting.
Pet me, please.
Please pet me. Hello, Battery. I don't work through the stream. Today? Hell yeah.
Woohoo.
Fado, I'm not gonna pet you. Stop shoving your face in my hand. Are you seeing him?
I know, he just keeps inching towards you.
He's just rubbing his face on my hand.
Hello, father.
Fine, I'm petting him now. He wins.
He deserves it. He's a good boy.
Does he deserve it?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it has been a long time since Battery. A lot of our OGs have left us, which is fine.
They're all
Oh
growing
no,
up.
June's here.
Oh no.
Yeah, June has been doing D&D. Battery's been working. I don't mind. You guys do whatever you want with your lives. I'll do whatever I want with my lives. Fado, stop. I don't mind petting you, but I don't want your hairy face in my water.
But he's thirsty.
I think he's just leaning close to it, and his little hairs are flying off, and I don't want them to end up in the water.
They're gonna no matter what. There's hair everywhere in our house.
Sparkly has been vibing.
Hell yeah.
Very good. Hell yeah. Everyone's just straight up vibing today. Maybe if Bones would run the D&D like he promised. Listen, I'm a very busy man. I got a lot of potatoes on this plate.
So many potatoes.
You know how long it takes to bake a potato? 40 minutes each. 40 to 120 minutes, honestly. Depending on the size of potato. Fado is a potato, and he's in my hand. Hello, Ursula.
Hey.
You're artist. You're an artist. You're not busy. That's true. You're right. Artist is not a real job. Agreed. Just working on the storyline for my comic. Very exciting. I just made some iced coffee. Oh,
I could go for iced coffee.
I had an iced coffee this morning. Well, tomorrow we'll have one. Because I ran out of milk. We should also try a trial of Stop. Stop going towards my water. Stop. It's not yours.
I know.
You have your own water bowl. Leave mine alone. What was I saying?
Uh,
Iced coffee. I don't know.
Get a trial of the
Not skip.
delivery?
Yeah, the delivery, grocery delivery.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that
Because there's like a 2-week trial, so you should try that.
we should.
Get all your groceries, so you won't get yelled at Walmart. Remember that? You want to tell your story of being yelled at Walmart?
Oh right, was that? Yeah, I guess I didn't tell that on the stream.
Yeah, because it happened after the stream.
Right. So I went to Walmart to do our groceries. The reason I went to Walmart, normally we go to like a different grocery chain.
Costco.
Yeah, Costco.
Stop.
And Sobeys.
Stop.
I think Sobeys is just a Canadian one.
Yeah. Stop. No.
Quietly reprimanding Fate.
He just is like pet.
I'll pay you, Fate. While I tell my story.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so I went to Walmart. And the reason I went to Walmart is because we needed to pick up packing tape for Moonlight orders to go out. And so I go to Walmart, and it was very crowded. So in our area, they've taken down a lot of the
Social distancing.
yeah, social distancing precautions. So like it was super crowded. No one was like doing the 6 feet apart thing.
No one was wearing masks because the ban it's now in effect.
Yeah. It's now in effect to wear masks, but it wasn't on the day I went out.
Yeah.
So a bunch of people weren't wearing masks. There was like a group of, they seemed like students who were in a university town. This big group of students running around in a huge group, taking up the entire aisle. None of them were wearing masks. It was very annoying. And yeah, so it was very busy, and I was flustered the whole time. And so I forgot tape when I left. But anyway, so I get to checkout. I do all my stuff. I did like self-checkout. And then I go to the exit, and the alarm boops when I go through.
It goes boop boop boop.
Boop, boop, boop.
Who like hasn't booped the alarm before?
Totally.
Like the usual thing when you boop the alarm is like, did you scan everything? And you're like, yeah, think so. And then they're like,
Okay, go.
go, yeah.
But there's this old guy who was working there at the door. And he comes over to me and he's like, come back. And I was like, okay. So I go back. And I was like, is there anything? I don't know. He was like, what didn't you pay for? And I was like, I don't know. I paid for everything. He was like, no, what didn't you pay for? It said, something set it off. And I was like, oh, I'll look at my receipt and we can go through it. And so I was like looking through my receipt, and he wouldn't look at it. He just kept insisting that I know what I stole, I guess.
Yeah.
And so
Because when you look at Ursula, you like,
you're like, she's a thief.
that's a thief right there.
But yeah, so he was very insistent, and he wouldn't look at the receipt. And I was looking through the items, and I was like, is this? Like, is this?
Because it was written, you know how receipts are, where
Yeah.
it's like what she thought what was written down instead of strawberry ice cream was PTK Strew.
Yeah,
Like,
it was some.
and it was like $100 worth of food.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I stole the bread, like, who cares?
No. And but yeah, so I was like, maybe I didn't pay for the ice cream because I didn't see it anywhere. And I showed him like the little, PTK blah, blah, blah thing. And
You're like, is this ice cream?
is this it? And he was like, I don't know.
Is it?
And I was like, I don't know.
I don't work here.
And I had that like fight for like 10 minutes. And then he's like, he was like, maybe it's the
Your ice cream is melting.
oh yeah, and it's like a 40-degree day, so like my ice cream's melting as we speak. And then so he picks up like protein powder that I'd gotten, and he was like, there was like a magnetic strip on top, and he was like, oh, maybe this didn't get unmagnetized or whatever. And so I was like, okay. So he's like, let's go back to the checkout, we'll fix it. And I was like, cool. So we go back, and then he brings it to a cashier. He gets the magnet thing fixed, and then he's like, okay, go pay for the ice cream you took. And I was like, I didn't, what? I was like,
And he just stood there waiting for you to pay it.
yeah.
And then we got our receipt, and oh, look, PTK Strew, and we have both receipts.
Yeah.
And we gave them to my stepdad because he has the stepdad. Like, what's the equivalent of like Karen?
It wasn't like Kevin.
He's like a Scottish Kevin.
He was like, he said he's
He's
gonna call them.
cheap.
Yeah, he's gonna call them, and he's like, "Oh, you made my my daughter-in-law cry."
But Ursula didn't want to be a Karen about stuff.
That's what I found. Where I was like, I could be really fighty about
It's-
this, but I don't want to cause a scene. I was like, I didn't want to yell at an essential worker either.
Ursula burned my crops. Ursula came to my Animal Crossing island and smashed all my windows.
I cut down all your trees.
Scary, that's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the principle of the thing. Like, I'm usually like on the side of like people in the stores,
Yeah,
because like you have a hard job.
totally.
And it's even harder right now. But it's just kind of annoying to be accused of stealing ice cream while there's a bunch of freaking teenagers running through the stores without masks, bumping into everybody. You're like, there's other things you can do. Like, don't sell your soul for Walmart.
Totally.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's like the people who are like really into those jobs. It's weird.
The thing is too, like I was kicking myself because I was like, I should have just left the store because they're not allowed to chase you legally.
Yeah.
So I should have just left because I didn't steal anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so
Like, I'm the only one who's stolen from Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm the criminal. It's Walmart. Like, who cares?
No, it's Walmart. They can lose some money.
Walmart is the real thief, guys. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
real with ourselves.
Totally.
Yeah, it's bad here. We don't have a ton of stores, so Walmart is one of the few options. What are you laughing at?
June said Ursula knows they can't chase her like a thief. Listen.
Oh.
I think I've told this story before, but I did once accidentally steal a dog coat. We were in a pet store with the dogs on leashes.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about how dare you think Ursula's a thief. I mean, like, I'm the instigator. I'm always the one. Ursula's like, oh, we have to go back and do the thing. Like,
I have to go back and pay for this. And he was like, I'm
because
not
if
doing
we
it.
were here, if I was with Ursula, which I can't be because I want to, the more bodies we have at the store, the more Corona can spread, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, okay. If I was there, I would have just been like, what? No.
I know.
Or I would have gone to, like, the checkout counter. I would have gone to, like, the refund counter after getting the 2 receipts.
I should have done that. I was just so angry. I just wanted to go home.
I mean,
it was
fair.
hot, and all our food was melting and defrosting, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
not-
I got home, and I was like, I realized I'd forgotten the tape, which was the whole reason I went to Walmart. And so like, I was in the car, and I texted Bones. I was like, I'm stupid. I forgot the tape.
Oh, right. She didn't even buy the tape.
I know.
We didn't even get all the stuff we really wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Oh,
sucked.
I did. I forgot tape, and I didn't get some essential stuff we needed, but I got, like, Twizzlers.
And the ice cream, which you didn't even need.
Right, and ginger ale and all this crap we didn't need. And I was like, what was I doing?
God.
Ugh. So yeah, so we're gonna do delivery for groceries because you know what? It's probably best that I don't go out.
I stole a chocolate bar on accident as a baby. Well, that's not stealing. You
Yeah.
can't steal as a baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's the trick.
You're not liable.
Yeah. Because you need to have the mental capacity to steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so, we were talking to my, well, like, we were talking at my family's house after we stole from Walmart, and we were like, oh, heck, let's just talk about, like, the time we stole. And we talked about, like, the time we stole from the pet store, and now my brother's girlfriend works for that pet store, and I was like, who cares about a coat? I'm sure dogs, like, take toys and leave with them all the time. And she was like, yeah, it's a pet store.
Yeah.
And then my stepdad was talking about how he got his dog, he went in for this cheap day where they, like, do a really cheap grooming session or whatever because their dog was stinky. So they brought their dog in, and it was, like, really cheap thing, waiting in line to pay for it. And his dog had his head in like a treat basket and had eaten like 20 or so treats. He was just like in there eating her. And it's like, well, how many did he take? And he's like, I don't know. They're gone now. And he had to like pay $50 or something in
Yep.
like treats.
So much for the cheap wash day.
Yeah. Damn dog.
I know. They don't know.
I've stolen so much stuff from Walmart. I stole a Lady Gaga CD. It was because I was kind of flustered because I went to buy all these orders and then Ursula's card got rejected.
Oh, right.
And then I had to wait for her to come in. And then I came back and scanned everything in again. And I was scanning things on self-checkout and then and then I was going to put them back in the basket or whatever. Yeah, I was putting the bags back in the basket. No, okay, I know what it was. Okay, this makes more sense. I'm sorry, what are you doing, Al?
We've got like a little like planter bottom, like those plastic planters.
Yeah, it's like a little it's a little planter pot, and he had his head in it, and it was just like walking around with it like a hat, or kind of like a cat with like his head stuck in a bag. It was really funny. He wilded.
He's wild and he's been
I found
all
the
over.
cat treat ball, and I'm thinking maybe giving him that.
Oh, the treat ball?
Yeah, I remember him
Oh.
playing with it before, but
Oh,
put some
baby.
treat. Sorry, what was it? Okay, yeah. What happened was with the Lady Gaga CD, it was winter, but it's hot in the store, so I put all my coats in the cart.
Right.
And then I thought I scanned everything, and I went to go put the cart away, and I found the Lady Gaga CD, and I'm like, I've already been to this checkout twice. I'm not doing it again. So I just put the CD in my bag and left with you. And that's okay. That was way worse than Ursula's one. Okay, it was a $5 CD. I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
They're just giving them
It was
away.
in clearance.
You wouldn't steal a CD. Hell yeah, I would.
But
I've been pirating since the LimeWire days, guys.
But the dog coat, I just like we grabbed a little raincoat for Fado and I stuck it in my pocket because I was like dealing with the dogs on leashes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I totally forgot it was in my pocket and didn't realize till we were in the car.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, I should go back," and I'm like, "You are not leaving me in the car with these two animals." And then
Manica
you're
and
like, "I'll just
Fedor.
take them in," and it's like, "No." There was like a dog in there, which is
Yeah.
part of the reason we left. So yeah,
Yeah.
shoplifting stream when every stream is shoplifting stream with us. And the thing is, like, why, like, when you're going out with groceries, why would the guy assume that it's the groceries you didn't scan? Groceries don't have a magnetic sensor on them.
Right?
Like, only the protein powder did, obviously. Like, obviously, it's a big item that you're stealing if the beeper's going off. They don't have a beeper for a chocolate bar. You can just put a chocolate bar in your pocket and leave.
I know. It was
Not that I would
so-
recommend it at all or anything.
No, we don't advocate for this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really frustrating on a flustered day.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna steal a chocolate bar, what you should do is you steal the chocolate bar, and then the money that you would you would usually give to Walmart, just give it to a better cause. Give it to helping all of the 8-year-old children that make those chocolate bars.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's the sucky part about Reese Cups. They're so good, but they're made by children.
Hmm.
Well, they're not made by children, but the cocoa is harvested by like 8-year-olds.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's fun.
There's been these ads on Spotify for
What-
Reese Cups.
What the hell is with the paper route? Okay, back to your thing, and then I'll go back to my thing.
Okay, he's going off. But there's these ads on Spotify that they're like supposed to be like ASMR Reese. So it'll be like them like cracking a Reese in half, and you hear the little sound.
Oh God.
And like they have one where they pull off the wrapper, and it goes like it does like the crinkly noise or something. And they're so loud, and I hate them.
Oh my God.
I'm like, ugh.
Why is it so hard for people to just boycott chocolate? I mean, there's like, it's like, okay. Yeah. The thing about all of that crap, right? Here's my opinion on all of it. It's my opinion on like veganism and all that stuff, it's really hard to like live completely ethically. And if you have the ability to do so, you should do so. But I think it's more important to like advocate for policies and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think boycotting Nestle is gonna work because like we need you're not gonna boycott Nestle, right? Um, most and a lot of people like need certain things from Nestle. Like water bottles are essential for people who've had their like water systems like effed over by Nestle. It's like it's a horrible circle. We're all living in this hellscape, and we need to like just um not oppose these things. Like if there's like a law or something that would make chocolate more expensive for everyone, like, and you're like, well, I want cheaper chocolate rather than helping someone, like, then you're like kind of an asshole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where I think it is, where it's like if there was like some sort of ban on like meat production or whatever, or like unethical practices, and you're like, well, those unethical practices get me hamburgers, so I'm gonna fight against this. Like, yeah, that's my opinion. There you go.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be a vegan. There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Just try your best, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, sugar is bad for you anyways. Just boycott some brands. There's tons of things that are bad for you though. Like, and sugar is very addicting.
Yep.
And I don't fault anyone who has a lot of trouble with fighting those kind of cravings, because the amount of work that goes into like a company like that, like hacking your brain, is like ridiculous. Like no one likes these things, really. Like no one likes Cheetos, yet here I am eating Cheetos. Like they're made in a lab for you to be like to crave them, to not be able to get the feeling of eating Cheetos anywhere else.
Totally. It's they're designed the way like a mobile game is designed to like make you use
Yeah.
microtransactions. It's like built to be addictive.
I like Cheetos. Yeah.
Totally.
I can't not eat I can't not eat sugar, so I just don't buy them. It's hard. It's
Totally.
really hard. And there's the other aspect of it where money is hard. Yeah.
Yes, totally.
And not just money, there's a certain like Venn diagram of like money and time.
Yep.
Like you kind of get stuck in some of these places where it's like, yes, it would be cheaper to do beans and rice, but sometimes like you don't even have the time in your life to make beans and rice.
Totally.
Yeah, the farming them from the Cheeto trees. Like I've been trying to eat more whole foods, and I try my best to not. I don't do red meat. Like, I'm sorry, Mom, but like it's just something that, like, if it's offered to me, like I'm gonna eat it because it's like, what am I doing? Like, it's just there. Like I don't think I'm like contributing to anything, but I don't. Yeah. I don't eat red meat. I don't buy it. It's just not. I don't know. But it was also really easy for me to give up because it's not something I love.
Totally. Whereas like we've definitely cut down on our sugar, but I definitely struggle with like
dairy is our
intake.
big struggle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So hard to give up dairy.
Soggy Cheeto trees? No, Cheetos come in shells on the trees. There's like a
Oh.
protective shell, and they delicately like click, 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 click.
Oh my god.
All hail the Cheeto trees. It's rough sometimes, but I'm able to cope. Yeah. I think it's just you can't expect everyone to be able to cope.
Yeah.
Me, from a farm family, also me, doesn't eat much fresh produce. Same, dude. It's I have iced coffee. Yeah. Money's so dumb and I hate it. Agreed. I've been vegetarian for 9 years. Meat was really easy to give up because I kind of hate it. Yeah, like
I feel like I could go vegetarian because I'm not a big meat fan.
I probably could too, honestly. Like I'm working on it. But I think another aspect of food is if you don't have an appetite for something, that's great. it's also really hard when you're a child and you eat these things, because they're like designed to leave an imprint on you, and advertising, and it kind of like a lot of like your diet is determined when you're very young.
Mm.
And my worry about when we talk about these kind of things, when we talk about diet and we talk about, oh, it's easy for me, just do this, or oh, it's just easy, just do this, it removes the culpability from like what's actually responsible, which is their like shitty companies basically, who shouldn't be able to advertise this kind of like sugary hellscape to children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like cigarettes, like some of the stuff, like I don't know.
It's very similar to like environmentalism, where there's always a push for like you as the consumer should be more eco-friendly, and you should. It's helpful, but the onus is really on these huge companies that are polluting the world.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like individual choices are good, and a bunch of individuals can change a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
and the change in mindsets is a lot more important, I think. Like understanding why these things are bad, and then
Yeah.
helping to kind of push for a better world from that, rather than just being like, well, if we all decided to do this, the world would be great. Like, yeah, I'm a picky eater also from an Asian household, so meat's like the only thing I eat. Oops. Yeah, it's hard. Picky eating is hard too. I think you have to have empathy for picky eaters.
Yeah, people are really harsh on picky eaters.
Yeah, especially when you look at like the intersex of like picky eating and disability and like neurodiversity. Um, like I really had to like hack my own brain in order to like expand what I eat, because
like-
there's a lot of stuff where I'll put it in my mouth and my body like rejects it. Like the biggest one is like berries. Like the biggest one I've been overcoming slowly is berries, where berries, I don't like them. I don't like seeds. There's something about it that's I don't like it. I don't like it. So I hadn't been able to eat cherries forever. However, I really like peaches. I think peaches are great. I like plums. I like all that stuff. And then I was just able to convince myself. I was like, cherries are just tiny plums. They're just miniature plums. And then I've been able to eat cherries, and I love cherries. It's just like my brain. I just have to trick it.
I love that. Tiny
Yeah.
plums. Totally.
Eating food altogether kind of sucks, in my opinion. I wish I could just absorb sunlight. It would make things easier.
Hmm.
Delete food, eat sand. That was me as a child. I went to the beach and just ate sand.
You ate like
I ate the entire beach.
all of PEI's sand.
Glad I'm European. We have stricter food laws compared to the States. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's different cultures and stuff. It's not perfect like anywhere, honestly. But like, yeah, it's concerning, and like there's like such a push in just like food and exercise to like put it all on you as a person, when it's really not. Like the people that are able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and just change their body, like or like overcome that kind of stuff, like they're rare, they're the exceptions, you know. And then you're like made to feel like a I don't know, this is like Ursula's kind of talk, because Ursula, so what Ursula's been okay, I'll talk about Ursula for a sec.
Okay.
But Ursula's
Tell me
always
about
struggled with
Ursula.
like binge eating issues. I don't know how much she wants to talk about that, but she was like, I want to do a diet, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I just like sat her down and I was like, Ursula, you're beautiful. And I think it's really good that like you want to get in control of your body. However, have you considered therapy? I made her sign up for therapy for binge eating rather than doing a diet and stuff, because like, yeah, that's those kind of patterns. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, and I found doing therapy and kind of like reframing my relationship, like it's been less my relationship with food and more like my relationship with my body, which has been interesting, where it's like more kind of learning to love myself rather than like changing eating habits.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of changes the eating habits.
Totally.
And like and I read studies about this when I was first kind of looking into like body positivity, where like they said like it's bad, but I read a study that was like people who love their bodies and are very positive about their bodies tend to like lose more weight than someone who's like self-loathing of their body, which is a bad frame of mind to go into body positivity.
Where you're just like, oh, if I'm body positive, I'll get thin. Like
Totally. It's like, no, let's get this fat phobia out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, therapy has helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always find it interesting, and it's really helped you like emotionally.
Totally. I'm able to regulate my emotions a lot better now.
Yeah. Like, I binge eat so much it's scary. Food is currently my coping mechanism, which isn't fun. Exactly.
It's hard. I feel you.
And you just gotta like, and that's kind of what I'm saying is like when you have all this like emotional distress, like the economy, like look at like what we're going on.
Totally.
And then you look at the food aisle and just like pay attention to like how it's kind of structured to like you just pay attention to these things. Like there's like all these bright colors that are meant that kind of mimic like bright food. Like bright food is what people want to eat. Fruit is hard. Produce is hard because it's hard to prepare. It's cheap in theory, but it goes bad. There's so much thinking involved in making it. I was struggling with like preparing meals, and I finally got like this is privilege here, but like I got an app that like makes food lists like for the week, and like you have the meals prepared, and it's just like awesome. And now we're just gonna get an app to have it delivered to our house. Like
yeah, we're
like money makes life easier. It sucks. I feel bad, but like, yeah.
Because I totally felt that, like, the structure of the store thing at Walmart, because, like, there was one point where I was in a narrow little aisle, and I was stuck behind someone because I didn't want to push past and be rude in these times. So I looked over, and there was, like, candy and pop and stuff, and I was like, what if I just grabbed one?
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, like, when you're checking out, there's a whole, like, impulse aisles. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I don't know the solution to it, like, honestly. But it's not helpful if you have any sort of maladaptive thing with, like, your eating, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my only real gripe is, like, I have a friend with celiac disease, which is really debilitating. But then there are all these people who are like, I can eat gluten. I can't eat gluten because it makes me fat. Well, I want to like defend those people a bit. When you see all these people who get on like these health food trends and stuff, what you kind of have to realize is, you know how like healthy eating is like confusing? It's like that on purpose. Like diets like are purposefully meant to confuse you and make you feel like it's your own fault for failing if they don't work for you. Like the diets aren't meant to succeed. Like
otherwise you
like
stop.
How would the weight loss industry exist if diets and stuff worked?
Yeah.
Like most of the stuff is really simple in theory, but like adding this extra layer of confusion is kind of how that industry works. Like creating things like, oh look, gluten is unhealthy, so buy my expensive gluten-free product. Like, yeah, like of course they're going to convince you that like this is the miracle thing. This is an easy way to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Have you looked in One Life Meal? They're Canadian. They deliver healthy meals in portions to the house. I haven't looked into that. I have one where like I get a grocery list and I prepare it. I think it's really good for my mental health to make food. Like I really like cooking. It's just something to do. So yeah. I also like being able to see like what I put into my food, I guess.
Yeah.
Also I'm picky. People worry so much about food that they're sleeping in this pancake. Yeah. I feel like it's harder to gain weight than it is to lose it, though that's just my experience. I think it's different for every person, and the focus on weight is an issue, you know?
Definitely.
Like here's like a very simple thing that the weight loss industry will confuse you about. Exercise doesn't really help you lose weight.
Right. There have been studies. They did a long.
Everyone knows this.
They did a long. Oh, totally. You talk to anyone who like looks into it, and they're like, "Yeah, diet affects your weight. Exercise does nothing." But they still tell you to exercise when you're like, "I want to lose weight."
Exercise is good for you.
Totally.
I am pro exercise. But when you go into it thinking, oh, this will help me look hot, this will help me look good, like, it's not going to do that. You should be exercising because it's good for you. And you should have, like, what was your therapist talking about? She mentioned when you were like, what do I do if I'm not trying to lose weight?
Right. So that was my problem where
Exercise, the more you do it, the more calories you burn. You're never gonna burn as many like, it's so, like, I understand, like, in theory, yes, you will lose weight technically from exercising, but like any, like, it's like the old adage that, like, abs are made in the kitchen, right? It's about what you put in. I want to start working out, and I just want good looking arms and abs. Like, yeah, you're gonna gain muscle, you're gonna lose fat, you can burn that stuff, but you burn more than usual. Yeah, but like, I'm just saying that for most people, like, it takes a lot. Like running burns like a couple hundred calories, and it's so much easier to just not eat a Reese cup. like you can run for an hour and like burn off a Reese cup. Like, that's kind of the deal there.
it's like an unequal trade-off.
Exercise is more important for heart health and stuff.
Yes.
And but yeah, weight loss is mainly diet. That's what I'm saying, is like, you can't just continue eating what you're eating and like lose all this weight if you just start jogging. I think jogging is great, but you need to look at things outside of weight loss in general, like when you're thinking about that stuff.
Yeah, because my therapist, I did have that problem where it's like,
I hid your
how do
scale.
Yes, that was one thing. She was like, "How about you stop measuring your weight?" And I was like, "But, I don't know why I can't give it up, but I want it." But so I was like, "Well, if I don't measure my weight, how do I measure my health?" Because like everyone tells you weight is health, even though it's not at all. Because honestly, as I started working out, I was gaining muscle, which is heavier than fat. So I was technically gaining weight, even though it was muscle.
Yeah.
So she was like, well, you can measure your energy throughout the day. Like, do you have more energy? Do you have less? Like, how does working out affect it? You can measure, like, your energy levels. You can measure your endurance. So, like, if you're working out, you can say, like, I ran longer today than I did last week, etc.
Eat whatever I can and exercise off how much I went over my calorie budget. Like, it's fine if that works for you. I'm just saying, like, these kind of things are really damaging on, like, an overall larger systemic kind of level with like that, where, like, yes, you can count calories and you can do all this stuff, but a lot of that can kind of it all kind of feeds into the system. Like, I understand calories in, calories out, that's true. And working out, like, when I was going to school and I was walking 13,000 steps a day, I was losing a lot of weight. But a lot of that also came down to the fact that I was walking for hours rather than eating, too, But bones, I want to be a himbo and like the cool kids. You can gain muscle and look hot by working out. And that's cool. But, like, time after time, when you look into the stuff, you have to like your body first in order to like make any improvements on it anyways. And a lot of, like, what you're kind of like fed is a big heckin' mess of a confusing mess.
Totally. And
Yeah.
here's the thing. If you don't like your body, even if you get to say, like, your weight goal or your muscle goal, you might still hate your body. Still.
Yeah.
You might be like, well, I should lose more or I should gain more muscle.
My body goes flop. And also, sometimes you can work and work and work and not get your results.
Yeah.
Or not be able to keep up with it. Yeah. I'm addicted to brushing my teeth. I just want to have a little side note here that I brush my teeth way too much. And I think it's a problem.
Don't overbrush.
I know overbrushing is a problem, but I just can't stop. I just like the feeling of clean teeth, guys. I used to not brush my teeth at all, and I got 21 cavities. No, 12.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Maybe it was 20. It was a lot.
Oh, Lord. My dentist is like, hey, we're open. And I'm like,
Don't go. There's no point.
no, I'm not going till...
Ursula's already going to the doctor quite frequently for mystery issues. So let's not go spread things around everywhere.
No way.
Brushing teeth is so satisfying, right? I like brushing my like gums and my tongue. I mostly like brushing my tongue. I just don't. I love the feeling of like a clean tongue. It's just. I think I don't know how to solve this, and I probably need to go to the doctor. But I think I sleep with my mouth open, and then my mouth gets nasty, and it just gets so gross that it'll like wake me up at 4 a.m. and I can't sleep until I go brush my teeth. Like that's what I'm describing.
Yeah.
My stomach hurts, mind empty. I also just like panic where I'm like, do I have sleep apnea? Am I gonna die? Because I'll wake up like gasping.
Oh, God.
Like not often, just like a few times.
Oh, no. Yeah, we should probably talk to your doctor about that.
I don't know if it was just like, like I don't snore
You do.
like loud.
No, you don't snore loud.
I just go like.
You have little kitten snores.
It's because I sleep with my mouth open.
Yeah.
I'm a mouth breather.
I've been having them less because I think I'm drinking less coffee.
Good.
But I sometimes will have panic wake-ups from anxiety.
Yes.
I was reading, like, what do you do if you, like, wake up in the middle of the night in a panic? And it was, like, try not to obsess over panicking because it'll make you panic more. It's
What?
like, damn it. It's like, if you can't sleep, just get up and go drink some little chamomile tea.
Well, when you were having that issue, that was like also one of the precursors to me being like, Ursula, get therapy.
That's true.
I was like, Ursula, we have money now, and you're on a health plan. Therapy's covered. Go.
It has helped. It's helped a lot.
I feel like my mouth open, and I'm always terrified when the spider I saw the night before is gone in the morning.
Num num.
How not to panic. Don't. A+ advice.
Right. Don't like fakes.
My gums are weak. They bleed every time I brush. Mine bleed when I floss because I don't like flossing. I like brushing my teeth. I don't like flossing. But it seems to be working for me because my dentist said I had perfect teeth.
Wow.
Yes. I was so happy though because I
Uh-huh.
used to, after like years of going to the dentist and then being like, so you don't take care of your teeth. I'm like, but finally like just going and then being like, wow, they're perfect. Like, oh, yes. Because the first time I went, they weren't perfect, but that was because I hadn't gone for the dentist in years. But I didn't have a cavity, which was cool.
Hell yeah.
I did have a leak in one of my cavities that needed like fixed, but yeah. Bone's the perfect teeth, man. Thank you.
I remember once I went to the dentist and I think it was like I think it was just a checkup and they looked and they were like, oh, it looks like a filling fell out, and I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, just like you can feel it with your tongue there, and I looked and there was just half my tooth that was missing.
You didn't notice?
I didn't notice. It was like that morning I had a full tooth.
I have trouble because I have a food trap, which is the most painful thing. It's just one of my... So I have really interesting teeth. The dentists are always like, what? But like one of my teeth didn't come in. It's just a rare one to not come in. That's it. It's my very back molar. And so my other molar just kept growing. so it touches my gum, but it's further down. It's just taller than all the other teeth. So it's like a little goalie at the end of my mouth, and it catches food and shoves it into the space between the two teeth. And I hate it. And sometimes it gets infected, and I hate it. I just hate it, okay?
That sounds like a bad tooth.
I've never had a cavity.
Bless.
Yeah. I once had one of my teeth just rot away when I was a child, but I didn't want to tell my parents because I didn't want to go to the dentist.
That's my whole life. I never want to go to the dentist. I know I need to, but I don't want to.
My last dentist, I went trivialized my most filling pains. Aw.
Oh.
I picked a really good dentist.
He did his research because I didn't like my previous dentist.
Mm-hmm.
One, he left me in the middle of filling a cavity for like 20 minutes, and I really had to pee.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I was like, I'm out.
Outie. I've never had a cavity too. Wow, guys. I have 2 wisdom teeth. I don't have 4, which is cool, but I still have to get rid of them.
Yeah, I think I have to get rid of mine too.
They didn't ask about it the last time I went, so.
Yeah, they told me, they were like, keep an eye out, and I was like,
I'm like, what am I keeping an eye out for?
Right, I didn't ask, but maybe
My
I
dad's
should've.
tooth like grew sideways into the other ones, and he left it for years
No.
until eventually they were like, so there's a cavity and we need to get rid of them. And yeah, he had to have his like awake or something.
Oh, right, because he had problems with his jaw, right?
Like he had pop jaw, so like yeah, they needed like him to be like awake through what was supposed to be like you go sleep, go
Pop.
bye.
Pop jaw, because he's
Yeah.
a papa? Because he's a pop?
I think it was just like local or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Never asked him about it.
No, thanks.
I'm scared to get my wisdom teeth taken out. Yeah, same. But I kind of like surgery, so maybe it'll be okay.
I like surgery.
It's my thing now.
I'm a surgery boy.
Why don't we just eat the wisdom teeth? That's true. I only had 2 wisdom teeth. Too cool. You also have, okay. Yeah, 2 wisdom teeth. That's pretty cool. It's lucky. I'm missing like a bunch of teeth. I'm missing like 2 of my wisdom teeth and 1 of my molars. It just didn't grow in. It was like, nah. I don't like surgery. I like the big surgery. That was fun. I have surgery in 4 days. You're finally getting surgery?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
All right, I think you told me that before.
Bless
Less.
that mess. I also don't like dentists because teeth are like super weak and damaged. Oh no. Oh, tell them about your dad's dentist experience.
When my dad was a kid, he was terrified of dentists because, I mean, he still doesn't love it. Basically, the first dentist he went to as a kid did like a cavity filling or a drilling or something and didn't use any anesthetic at all. And
Yeah.
so he was like, I don't like dentists. It really hurts. And my Nana was like, what? And when she found out, she was furious.
God.
Yeah.
Surgery terrifies me, but I really want to get top surgery one day because chest dysphoria. It's good. I liked it. It's worth it. Okay? Don't let your fear get in the way. I got top surgery this year, and I was really scared. I was stupid. Okay, here's my thing is I wasn't afraid of being put under. I wasn't afraid of like any of that stuff. I was afraid of talking to the surgeon. I was afraid of like getting my chest like assessed before top surgery. Like I didn't like that was super like dysphoric for me. And I didn't like needles, and I was really scared of the IV.
Fair.
I want top surgery, but I'm afraid still doing it though. Yeah, get you a
Yeah.
top surgery, guys.
Yeah.
It's fun. I liked recovering, but that's because I have Nursula
I took care of you.
and drugs.
You woke me up so many times.
You were so sweet to me though. I love you.
Aw, you were nice to me. We paid it back to each
That's
other.
true because the 2 weeks before I had surgery, Ursula had her surgery, and I was like Nurse Bones for her.
Exactly.
She also had a really bad like flu or something
Oh right, yeah.
the
like
week before.
A week before.
Yeah, so it was like 2 weeks of babysitting Ursula, and then it was like a month of being Bones support too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were good though.
No.
You were chill. The most harrowing part was driving home from Toronto in rush hour traffic with Bones unconscious and healing.
Oh, I kept while we were driving home, I kept like imagining cars driving in front of us and stuff, and I'd wake up and it would be like, oh, they aren't there. It was weird. I'm afraid of potential regrets. Don't listen to TERFs, okay? They're
Yeah.
Okay, if you want it, like, yeah, like sort through your fears of regret, see if they're actually founded or not. But if like you have big dysphoria, you probably won't regret it.
Yeah.
Okay, like me, I was terrified of the duality of man. I was like really scared of starting HRT because I was like, man, this is a big choice. This is scary. Like, what if I regret it? And then the other part of me was like, I would just be like sobbing and being like, I want to die. Like,
But what if I regret it?
and then I'd be looking at things just to you kind of like get into like this habit of convincing yourself you're wrong because it's so much nicer to live in the world that TERFs want. Okay, like it's so much easier to like if you could think yourself into a world where just a little bit of therapy would make it go away, like, man, okay, sorry. I think living in a world where like you can just like transition easier and all that stuff and that pain is like gone, that's easier. But I think when you're stuck in the world we live currently, you're just like, man, what if I could just not be trans? What if this is all in my head and I don't need surgery or whatever? Because like that's a lot to go through, like just trying to convince myself that like I don't need that. Heck that.
It's like you get comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess it's easier to just be like, wow, being trans is gross. Why would you want to do that? Like convincing yourself you don't want a thing. I guess it's like when you're like a kid and like someone gets something you want and you're like, well, I didn't want it anyways. Like that kind of attitude. You're just like, it's actually just bad for you. It makes you feel bad or whatever. I probably regret it. I wish people would not be so nosy about others' genders and love lives. Hell yeah. I mean, I don't like TERFs. I don't agree with them. But it was self-harm is what it was. I used to go on like Gender Critical and stuff and like read really mean things about trans people to make myself feel bad because like I couldn't access like healthcare, you know? Like it was just like a way of I don't know. Anyways, as far as top surgery goes, it's weird, okay? Like because I was so disassociated with like my chest, like having boobies, like I almost kind of felt like they didn't exist and they're like just like this numb void of nothingness. And since there's nothing there now, I sometimes still think that I still have like boobs, but I'm just like disassociated from them. Like it was only recently that like I let Ursula like touch my chest.
I had a moment because he like grabbed my hand and like put it on his chest, and I was like trying to stop him, like, oh no, I don't want to make you feel dysphoric.
Like literally, I'm just not used to that. I'm sorry, but what are TERFs? Trans exclusionary radical feminists. Phantom boob. That's literally what it was. It's just like, yeah, because I didn't bind. Like I've never been a binder boy. Okay, I have been a binder boy, but it's just uncomfortable. It's not fun. 0 out of 10. Phantom boob syndrome. Yeah. I technically haven't come out as a dude to my boyfriend, mainly because of where I live. It's tricky, but he's basically figured it out, and it's really nice. Ursula, like, we were walking up the steps to school one day, and she was just like, so, what's your gender? Like, because all our friends were coming out. We had all had rapid onset gender dysphoria, as it's known.
That's not a real thing.
I'm just saying that being trans is probably contagious because everyone in a trans Everyone in our friend group became trans.
It's almost as if trans people flock together.
What? It's almost like gay and trans people have been able to find each other for years, centuries even.
But yeah.
Um,
I forgot that's how I asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were like, do you like identify as like a girl? And I was like, I don't really identify as anything. And you're like, okay. Do you like what pronouns? And I was like, they, them.
Hell yeah. I think that you were the first like non-binary person I met.
I know. I was elite elder non-binary person, okay? Like I had to make up non-binary for myself. Like you kids are
Yeah.
lucky. Like
I remember we called it Nutois.
there was like Nutois, there was like agender cuz I felt like agender but like with a need for like surgery. Yeah. Like at the time I didn't want T. I still don't know why I want to be on T at all. It's just a deep, like, it was so hard. Like, to be trans, you just gotta lie to a bunch of doctors. That's my trick. Just like pretend to be the most like, depending on where you live. Like, it's better
Yeah.
now. It was a lot easier to get surgery while still being kind of non-binary. But before, to get on testosterone, I was just like, I am a boy, man. I would like the testosterone because I want a dick and be, yeah, that's what I want. But in my heart of hearts, like, I didn't even know what I wanted out of tea. I just knew that I needed it. Like, yeah, I don't know what. I couldn't, like, you could ask, like, what did you want out of, like, what symptoms do you want from testosterone? It's like, do you want a beard? Do you want, like, hair? Do you want, yeah, like, what do you want? I'm like, I was like, yes, I would like all of that. But I was like, I don't know. I just need it. Yeah.
You got so much. You were so much happier after you started HRT.
Literally.
Like it cured your depression. Like literally.
Yeah. It was just like, I need it. There's a need inside of me. I crave the hormone. And you know what? Cis people don't give a shit about kids' genders, okay? Like, because all this talk about, like, oh, think of the trans people. Like, think of what would happen if you gave this poor cis child hormone blockers and you gave them they go through the wrong puberty. Oh, no. Meanwhile, cis people have, for years done this stuff to intersex people, like ignoring the fact that, like, for what about the poor trans kid you forced to go through the wrong puberty? Like, I've been reading, like, the stories of, like, intersex people because I'm writing 9 Points, and the main character is intersex, and wanted to know people's experiences, as you do. And it's just, there's, like, so many, like, girls and guys, a lot of guys who, like, have their like genitals, like, altered as children, or like they'll need, like, hormone balancing, big quotes around need it. And they'll be like, you're going through puberty, you need to go through the right puberty like all of your friends, and they'll be like, okay, you're going on testosterone. And it'd be like, well, I actually would like estrogen. And they're like, no, you have a penis. You need testosterone. And it's just like, what the hell? Yeah, it's awful. Like, there's so many people who are just like, they will express that they want to be on estrogen, and then they'll be put through testosterone because, like, as kids, they'll, like, their body, like, sometimes that's, like, where they discover they're, like, intersex, is, like, their body's not producing testosterone, right? They have a penis, but their body's not producing testosterone at a good level to make puberty happen. And they'll be, like, not even consulted about, like, what hormone they want in their body. They'll be like, okay, we're just gonna level these out so you're a man and fix you. And it's like, yeah, it's awful. Where do you go for research? I go on Twitter. Like, I'll find, like, people who are intersex and follow them and listen to their things. I follow, like, what is it? I follow Interact, I follow like advocacy things, which is cool. Yeah. I'm buying a third car.
Oh my god. Blue.
Bones gets to the doctor office, punches a wall. Hello, I am a man. Masculine. Mask me, please. But now that I've gotten all the things, like, I feel like I've gotten away with, like, theft. I feel like I've stolen something. I pulled a great ruse. It was my biggest heist yet. I got on the testosterone. And now I'm like, haha, I'm not a boy. I win. I'm still he, him. Like, for me, like, he, him is, like, my trophy. That's kind of how I feel about it. Where it's like, I worked so hard to, like, go to the other side of things. Like, I don't really identify as, like, a man by any means, but he, him, that's like my trophy. Yeah. And I know like I'm all for putting pronouns in bios, but like I'm kind of just reveling in the fact that people like gender me he all the time, so like I'm sorry. Like, you know, it's what I do. My man trophy. Like, I don't feel like a man. Like, nah. Like, I don't know about that. And honestly, now I don't mind she as much. Like, not for like a you are a she, but like in the sense where like you're like, girl, oh, she's hungry. Like, I don't mind that stuff. Like, where you call a guy that, like, before that would hurt my feelings, but now I'm like, I pass so hard. Yeah, Bones poisoned my water supply. I'm sorry. T trophy hangs a plaque that says he, him on the wall. My trophy. Troppy. Bones, we support all people, but you're freaking weird sometimes. What? My boyfriend lets me pretend to be all tall and manly. Bones-et. Bones-et? No. Don't do that. I like my dead name. My dead name is freaking badass. I'm not telling you it because it'll be weird, but like... my dead name is kind of like Ursula, where it's a rare name. And like growing up with a rare name, if you meet like another person as your name, you're like, ah, you are great at the club.
Does anyone know why this is happening? Sorry. I'm doing like the select tool, and then it will just make its own selection when I let go of the mouse. Like, what?
Have you tried turning it on and off again? Like quitting Photoshop?
No.
Yeah, I think that would be a good start. My guess is badass, but I don't want it.
Cannot save night. What?
My dead name is... What?
What? Oh. Oh, whoa. What we doing?
Oh no, did you lose stuff?
No, I think it's saved.
Okay. My dead name. Yeah, like, I learned why it's called dead naming, which I think is cool. Like, I thought it was like, oh, this name is dead to me. So now I'll use dead name. But what it actually is your dead name. The reason it's called that is when trans people used to die, that's what they would get on their tombstone, would be your dead name.
Or what they put in the paper.
That's what would be put in the paper. You know, that's what people, like, in your obituary, you know, that's what people call you when you die, to not respect you. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense to me. So I'm fine with that. Though it's not going to be my dead name because, like, my name has changed, guys. It's not even Bones. Like, Bones, I feel like Bones should be on my tombstone. I don't know if I'll have a tombstone. I've never considered this. I want it to just be in the hallway.
We'll put it in our backyard.
Thank you.
You can haunt me. Like in The Sims.
Oh my god. And then if you take it inside, it turns into an urn somehow.
Yeah. It's like, what? Hello?
That's darker than I expected. Oof. Yeah. I thought it was this name is dead to me thing too. Yeah. That's kind of rad. Bones Tomb. I never met anyone with my first name as a first name, only as a last name. Feed it to the fish. Hell yeah. Bones is your real name? No. What's a real name? I mean, it is my real name. It's as real as any name could be. Like, names are just things, you know? And anything's a real name.
Yeah,
Because they're names. They can change so easily.
totally.
My name is more masculine. Very cool. I like how Ursula is planning to outlive Bones. Is this perhaps a murder plot? I don't know.
I'm a thief, not a murderer.
Listen, we're both gonna die young.
Is this a murder plot?
Yes.
There goes Blue.
Goodbye, Blue.
Getting his third car.
Vroom vroom. My real name is Sparkly Hackett.
Hell yeah.
It's your
It's
real
your
name.
It's a name.
It's a name that you use. Like, I know what people mean by real name. They mean okay, here's my honest opinion, okay? You know a guy, okay? His name is like Benjamin, but you know him by Ben. Would you go, "Is Ben your real name?" His real name is Ben. Like,
Yeah.
that's who he is. He might be like, "My legal name is like Benjamin, but don't call me that."
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's just as legit. The only thing I'd call
That was
like
so loud.
so loud. The only thing I'd call like a fake name is if you're like a spy and you have like a fake
spy.
life
Yes.
where your real name is Ben, but like in your spy life you're known as like Alexander.
But then, like, your Alexander life starts becoming too real.
Which is the real you.
And then you live, and is Ben real anymore? Only Alexander now. Oh my god, my freaking microphone is falling into me.
Goodbye. Stab.
Stib, stib. Drops into my chest. Hello, I hear you had top surgery. What do your nipples sound like now? I didn't know a lot about top surgery nipples.
Reminds me of the video where with the dog in the at the vet and it's like, "Ma'am, those are his nipples."
Nipples? Oh, I love that video.
So good.
Sorry, I'm just...
He's just readjusting his mic. I'll fill the space.
Bones. I didn't know they did nipple things.
Like they
Like,
behave like nipples.
They do the normal nipple things. Like, they get cold and they, like, joop. Right? Like, I thought, I didn't look into this because I don't give a shit about nipples, okay? Like, nipples are weird, okay? They're freak things. But top surgery nipples, they do, like, all the little nipple things. They go, like, joop. I didn't, like, expect that. Sorry.
My favorite thing about when you got top surgery was you kept saying for like a month, you were like, "Have you ever had your nipples removed from your body? Because I have."
Sorry, my microphone hates me.
It's okay.
Fado, you don't have to...
Fado is upset.
Fado's like, "Stop moving it." I'm like, "It's broken."
What if it falls on me? You're like, "Fado, you're like 5 feet away."
Ursula, talk and
Oh,
fix
sorry. Choomp. Who is chomping? We just expected it, Blue. Oh my god, I didn't understand what nipples were for so long since I have inside nipples. Oh no, it's getting all buzzy. There we go. Okay. The stream is so close to being YouTube friendly. Listen, we were going off about like body positivity, transphobia. We're never gonna be YouTube friendly. The nipple stream. Hey, we're talking about science here. We're talking about the science of nipples. Get your head out of the gutter.
Hello, science nipples.
Science nipples.
Just plug it back in. I don't remember doing that.
It just happened.
It just happened. Anyways, what I was saying about nipples is like I didn't expect them to do that. Okay, I thought they would just kind of like be like different color. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying it's very magical. Okay,
It's very.
the surgery is magical, guys.
It's like astonishing what they can do with surgery.
Right?
Like what?
I did like when I had the surgery and I came to hang out with my family, and um, they were talking about my surgery, and my my brother's girlfriend. I wish there was a term for that. But she was like, "So, you're like part of like the club now," and I'm like, "What club?" And she's like, like the no nipple club, like you don't have nipples. And I'm like, "I have nipples." She's like, "What?"
I forgot about that. You're like, excuse me?
I'm like, I don't think you, what?
You're part of the no nipple club.
Stop.
Your poor microphone just wants a hug. It just wants to be held.
Sorry.
Ah. Good lord, sir. The no nipple club. I was like, what does that mean? We don't know. Apparently she'd heard of a trans person who had no nipples after the surgery. The doctor that does the top surgery is a woman that is a female presenting nipples.
My thing is like I think like as a trans person I barely know this, but cis people know freaking nothing about trans surgeries.
Oh yeah.
They like nothing at all.
Nope.
They hormones confuse cis people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hormones confuse everyone. Trans people are also confused about hormones, but like it is amazing what hormones can do to a person. Like, did you know that trans women have periods?
Like that's wild.
I mean, like, yeah, like trans women can have like all the period symptoms except for like bleeding because there's no uterine lining to shed, but like they can get all of that stuff.
Right?
Like they get all of the period symptoms like once a month. They can. Like cramps and all the fun stuff.
I know. I was like, oh.
Everyone's in shock right now.
I know, it's wild.
Well, Ursula for her surgery had to like start her uterus or whatever. And it's just like you use like the same things as like trans women or whatever, and like it causes all the cramps and stuff.
Yep.
I once had a cis person say you either have estrogen or testosterone.
Honey, no.
We all have it.
Everyone has all of it.
Cramping in for what? The worst part of periods, RIP. Cramping in for what? Because it's not like it's just your uterus that causes trouble on your period.
Totally. It's like
Like
all
they get the
muscles
breast
around.
tendies. The breast tendies.
Totally, because you can get leg cramps, back cramps, abdominal cramps.
Yeah.
It's not just the uterus that contracts.
Uterus reboot surgery. It was like post uterus surgery reboot.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, basically. I'm on a bunch of hormones now trying to reset everything.
Get it all lined up. Wait, I
Crying
have
all the time.
everyone has testosterone.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I was looking at like what your hormones do like through the menstrual cycle, and like even your testosterone goes up during different parts of it.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Also, there's like a million different quote unquote female hormones.
Oh yeah. I was like, what? It's not just estrogen.
Also, here's a thing that cis people don't know: trans women can breastfeed.
That's so cool.
All they need is the breast milk hormone, which can be given to people who like can't produce breast milk because of like a hormone deficiency. But yeah, all you need is prolactin, and you can do it.
Wouldn't that be so amazing if you're like a lesbian couple and you can both breastfeed the baby?
Right?
Amazing.
The dream. Yeah. Everyone's just wild in like all these
Right.
facts.
Heck.
Yeah. Extra
That's
spicy
really cool,
flavor.
right? Ursula's uterus electric boogaloo. Hell yeah, get it
I've seen that before.
restarted.
That's really cool. Yeah. It's just really important for like trans women to like have a connection like that they, because like like if you're someone who's a trans woman and you feel really sad because you can never be pregnant and give birth, which, you know, it's sucky, but you know, it's your decision to do that sucky thing if you want to, but like not having that decision, it sucks.
Yeah.
But being able to bond with the baby in like another way like that and still feel like have a certain amount of like mom energy that like, yeah, like I think that's really cool.
Totally. That's awesome.
Because it's not like breastfeeding is super fun for everyone.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, science is cool.
Science is so cool.
What sucks is like you have to be a very privileged trans woman to do that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, just doing like a mom activity. Like I can't think of like that must be so validating for trans women who want that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so lovely.
Yeah. It's just like as a trans guy, like you're kind of like, I'm glad I can never be kicked in the balls, but man, I feel like I'm missing out on like sort of like a social thing.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but it's there.
That's fair.
I don't feel that super tons, but like there are kind of things like that. But I'm NB, like I don't even want a dick. Like I just want to be a Ken doll.
It's 3 o'clock.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Breastfeeding is weird apparently. Yeah, it's weird.
It sounds weird.
I know people who have like 3 nipples and like their third nipple like also
June.
does the booby stuff, the milk stuff, and they have to like put a pad to
Oh,
like soak
no.
it up because they all go.
No. Oh, my God.
Missing out on ball kicking. I'll kick you in the balls, buddy. I don't have balls. Kick Matica's balls. Social problems.
Squeak. Sorry.
Testosterone. Testosterone. What's up?
Nothing. I started a new page.
What?
Right.
You're
I'm
gonna get to
so
write some like completion moments.
Yes.
I'm excited to RP. I've been having fun,
Me too.
even though we've been horrible. We've made a horrible capitalist system. I don't want to talk about it tons because this could be a whole video topic.
True.
I honestly hate having breasts. I mean, fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
Totally
It's your
fair.
body, your choice.
Yep.
I'm in full support of otherkin. Okay? Like, I'm gonna keep saying this till I die.
Screaming it to the heavens.
Like, if you're a trans person and you feel uncomfortable with the existence of otherkin, like, chill out. Like, they're not making you any less valid, okay? And I think being an otherkin is super hecking valid because what if, like once we're living in the Matrix, I wrote this on Twitter, but like, if you can choose whatever you're gonna be, like, I'm not gonna be human. That's so boring. Right? Like, heck it. I don't care. Like, I understand it's probably stupid to like on like some level to be like, I am a wolf trapped in a human body, but just let people live, man.
Yeah.
Also, hell yeah, I want to run off and be a wolf. Like, if I could pick whatever body I'd be hanging out on the couch as a dog, like 24/7. Like, I'd be that wizard, you know?
From our RP, you just had more fun being a
I'd
dog.
be yeah, heck it, you know?
Why not?
Like, because when you look at like those virtual reality things, it's like people will be whatever they want. Like, some people will want to be hot people, but like maybe you just want to be a bird.
Yeah.
I'd rather be a cool robot. Valid.
Valid.
And if you feel that really strongly, like, I don't care. Who are you hurting? Like, there's some kind of I think it's the people who hate like trans trenders that are like, oh man, otherkin, they make us look so stupid. It's like, otherkin are like super bullied. Like, shut up. Furry Therian energy. Yes. God. I'm just admitting that I'm like a total freaking, I'm like beyond furry. I'm just getting more and more furry energy. I'd be me, but a bit shorter, so I can fly fighter jets. Aww. Aww. I want to be a shape-changing demon. Valid.
Hell yeah.
They're just vibing. Exactly.
They be vibing.
Also, like, people are way more aggressive online than they are like outside in the world. Like a lot of like otherkin and Therian people, like they're like chill.
Chill out.
Man, nobody is being trans for the attention. Anyone who dabbles in this is probably exploring their gender identity. Yeah. I want to be a cryptid. Hell yeah. I want to be a shapeshifter. I mean, why are you limiting your brain so much?
Right?
Yeah. I'm fascinated by the body identity thing.
Body identity?
I forget what it's called, but it's the trans ableism thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to talk about it too much, but like it feels pretty valid cuz it's like it's just not really studied, and I'd just be fascinated to like further study it. But it's people who will have like this intense feeling that their own leg isn't their leg,
Oh, yeah.
or that their eyes aren't their eyes, and they want to like have an amputation, and it feels like it's some sort of like brain body mapping issue from like there's no right like definite answer to it, but like a lot of them like do get relief by like having something like a surgery or whatever. Yeah, I don't know what to feel about it. I'm not a doctor. I think doctors should look into that. But that's wild. I've just read like people's experiences with it, but it just feels like to them that there is a dead leg attached to them, and it's really distressing.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be really distressing.
Like they wake up and like someone else's leg is there. And it's just something with like your brain not like recognizing that that is your leg, even though it works and it's function, it's fine. It's so weird. Yeah. It's kind of like Phantom Limb, but the opposite.
I want to be Mothman. Same. Mothman's got a good butt.
Right. Like it's you know Phantom Limbs, right?
Yeah.
Where you have your leg like removed and then you'll feel it itching or you'll feel pain.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of that, where you don't associate that leg as yours. It's weird. It's crazy.
It's wild.
Corpse limb. Yeah. If you're scratching it and the walls start crying. Wait, what? Let's be a candle. Moth surgery. Hell yeah. Everyone's valid. Let them be valid. I understand that there are like some things that are completely psychological and distressing, and you know, like addictions to like plastic surgery and things like that are like completely unsafe and they should not be done. Cool. I get that. But like we focus so much on that we deny other people their own bodily autonomy sometimes. And we just like make fun of people for like wanting to wear a paw print tattoo to symbolize that inside they feel like they are a dog. Like, just let them be a dog.
Right, it's like, who cares?
Who cares?
I was just hurting you.
It's also fascinating that I think this was like in Reply All about tulpas,
Yeah.
which are kind of like imaginary friends that feel very real, is you can have what are technically kind of delusions. Like you can hear voices, you can have imaginary friends who feel very real to you, but that doesn't count as mental illness if it's not affecting your way to function.
Yep.
It reminds me a lot of like Philosophy Tube's video on trigger warning, but like suicide, right? Where it's just like how we define mental illness is very interesting. And yeah, tulpas and having like an imaginary friend, but you can keep up your life. You just imagine that someone just talks to you and you have conversations with them. Like, as long as you're fine, you're fine. Yeah.
When I heard about tulpas, I was like, oh, that sounds so nice.
Yeah.
It sounds so comforting to just have someone like in your head who's there for you.
Yeah. Like you're not harming anyone.
No.
No. I also want to be a possum. I still want to be a god with ultimate power. So I could banish all the transphobe from the world. Hell yeah. So it's like a ghost friend? Yeah.
Kind of. It's like
Philosophy Tube is damn cool. Yeah, he's cool.
I've had what's really cool, what I love about tulpas is they people will like it's like they allowed the tulpa, the voice in their head, to like speak through them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called tulpamancy. That's so
I
cool.
love it.
I'm like, ah.
I tried to have a tulpa as a kid, and I got confused when I couldn't summon one. It's fair. I'd be a wolf because they're cool as hell,
Hell yeah.
right? And the thing about otherkins, when they like are finally allowed to become the wolves that they are inside, because we're in the Matrix, like they don't have to go be with real wolves. Like obviously they're gonna go hang out with other previously human wolves, right?
That sounds
And
amazing.
like they're gonna have their own wolf packs because obviously they're not gonna be interfacing with the. Well, I don't know why there's wolves in the Matrix, but you know, like however that works, like obviously they're not like wolf-born wolves, so they would have a different societal structure, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll just want to be wolves in the city. Let them be wolves in the city.
And if your neighbor was just a wolf?
That would be so rad. Yeah. I'm just living my life. I'm just like, that's so cool. And like the thing I've found with otherkin is a lot of them will talk about their experiences with therapy. And much like the Tulpa thing, they'll bring up otherkin and their therapist is like, that's fine. That's interesting.
It's not hurting anyone.
Because people can be Christians and we won't be like, wow, you're crazy. Like you have to be doing other things to make you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry for using the term crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of using like the terminology, like what people would say to like other kin people, where they're like, you're crazy, go see a therapist. And you're like, I have a therapist. They're fine with me being an otherkin. God. Like, chill out. That's not hurt. It's not hurting them. Okay, the thing is, it's not hurting you, and if you're not actually concerned about them as a person, you just want to make fun of them for whatever reason, and that's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all made a gay werewolf anthology too, right? Did wolves just making their own society come up as a story plot? I don't know. I just thought about it. I was just thinking about like what would happen if otherkin had the ability to turn into the animals they like feel that they are. And I feel like they probably wouldn't necessarily go off. Like some might like completely commit to the bit and just like maybe like some of them would. Like they would just enter wolf society, learn how to be a wolf and like be fine with it and like all of the trauma that comes with like being a wolf. But like I feel like a lot of them like would hold on to like their humanity and like want to hang out with other human wolf types, because like the otherkin community is like small but it's also really diverse. I love the otherkin community. I'm just finally like admitting it. Wolf therapy. Can you imagine if your therapist was a wolf? Like they're just a cool. I imagine them with glasses.
I imagine like their office is just like in the woods. There's no walls, but there's like a couch and like.
Yes. I'm imagining wanting to be corporeal in the Matrix, lol losers. It's true.
I just want to be the essence of an idea.
Oh, I'm so hot.
It is really hot.
It is just becoming melty and I'm melting away.
We're boiling.
That sounds pretty dope, not gonna lie. Yeah.
Can you imagine if like you met a werewolf? You're in the Matrix. You meet a werewolf, but their werewolf form is like Fado, just like a tiny little dog.
The only time I've seen other can cause direct harm is when they go after artists claiming to be their art. Yeah, like there's that kind of stuff. And factkin aren't valid. Okay? I'm just gonna say, like, factkin. No, you are not Anne Frank. That's hurting someone, you know? Like, that's different. Claiming to be someone else, like, hurts the people in their lives. You know? I feel like we would ban that in the Matrix. You can't just pretend to be someone else. That follows in lines of, like... Or can you? Whoa. Sorry, I was just thinking about, like, do those people who, like, really think they're Elvis count as, like, Elvis kin?
Huh.
Are they fact kin?
I guess so.
I guess it, yeah. Yeah. But the thing about those people is a lot of the time they're just fake. Like they're
yeah.
just trying to like make other kin look bad. It's like people who are like, I identify as a helicopter. Lol. Look at my
Look at
my
the one,
Tumblr.
the one joke.
The
I
one
have.
joke. Factkin is when you identify as someone who exists in the real world.
Yeah, because you can identify as Sherlock Holmes all you want. You're not really hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if you guys kin Rizzo. You guys can be Rizzo if you want to be Rizzo.
Hell yeah.
Please don't kin Evan. We don't need more Evans in the world. I was
If
referring to
they're-
those who think they're fictional characters, like believe they lived as a character in their past life. That's fine. It's not
Yeah.
hurting anyone.
Totally. It's like
Like if they're harassing the artist, that's one thing. And I guess we can have a discussion about the boundaries of fanfic. But if it's not real people, like you're just being an asshole. I'm sorry.
it's very it is similar to like people who write fanfic about real people.
I don't really care about like copyright infringement of being a fiction, Ken.
Oh yeah, that's like whatever. That's small tomatoes.
I don't like fact, Ken. There's something about that that's a little too much. They should identify as oh, because you're unsure of your identity and use the joke to cope. What a mood. Yeah, fact Ken is on the same level as people who ship real people.
Yeah, where it's like that's uncomfortable. Don't do that to people.
And I think it just becomes more uncomfortable as celebrity starts to become like a more granular concept as a whole. Like, because now celebrities can be someone who have like 10,000 subscribers. And it's like, yeah, it's completely different to like celebrity of the past, which was like, you know,
yeah,
big celebrities.
totally.
Like there's something to be said about like identifying as someone who's like really famous and just leaving them alone and not doing anything, whereas now identifying as someone else, yeah, it's just weird. And shipping them, yeah.
You're allowed to ship me and Bones.
I think you guys can appreciate our relationship, but you guys can't really know. We could just be horrible to each other.
Just in secret.
Like it's real though.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
Mm,
You don't know what's going on when the stream stops, I guess.
totally.
Yeah. Respect in the Matrix. Exactly. I feel like if someone kinned one of my OCs, I'd be like flattered, but also kind of, yeah. I think you need to cut yourself off a bit from it. It also might be my experience as someone who's, I don't know, like maybe you have a lot of followers or whatever, but like a lot of people have read my stories, and like you can't stop people from having their own ideas and concepts, you know, like you can't stop people from thinking and taking bits of your work as their own.
Yeah.
And I guess that's like a whole discussion to like kind of have, but you kind of get used to it. You kind of prepare for it. Like someone was using Rizzo to like RP Good Omens before they had
Yeah.
pictures, and I was like, I don't really care. I think that's really cool.
It's amazing.
Who cares? It's not like you're reselling books of pretty much like that's like theft. Is like when you take the exact 100% copy of the work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally. But yeah, but I personally don't care if someone.
If someone can my OCs, I'd be like, good sir, I know their social security number, where their diary keys are, and their favorite color. On the other hand, death of the author. Well, that's not really death of the author, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like a literary analysis tool, as we all fight about, because J.K. Rowling exists.
Mm.
How long on average do you spend planning out the plot of your comics? Constantly, forever. Like until it ends, honestly. Like pre-planning, I don't necessarily do tons. I wrote a lot for 9 Point up front, but like I kind of go as I go.
Mm.
I zoom as I zoom. I don't have many readers, so maybe that's part of it. Yeah. You kind of it's a slow thing, and you kind of get used to it. Like people, it starts pretty innocuously. Like, people will start having headcanons about your work, and you're like, well, that's wrong. But, like, why are you going to fight them? Just let them have fun. Do you not want people to have fun with your work?
I think as somewhat for me, because I like fan fiction and I like having headcanons and thinking about other people's work. I'm like, if someone did this to me, I would be happy because it's what I do.
Yeah. And if it's a stupid headcanon or like an erasure type one, like that can suck. But like,
yeah, true.
I don't know. I'm not going to fight.
Yeah.
I do believe in death of the author because I'm a stinky media studies student. You are stinky. Can smell you across the internet. I don't have a problem with people daydreaming about being with a celebrity. However, I'm just thinking of being referred to in such a sexual way bothers me. Not just the fact that about being in smut, since yeah. No, I understand that it's like uncomfortable. Here's my line with that kind of stuff. My line is like, if you wouldn't show it to like your grandma, don't send it to the person it is about.
Yeah.
Like, if you wouldn't show your smut to your grandma, like, don't show it to the author. Don't show it to the streamer that you're writing about smooching. You know? Keep that to yourself. There's like a lot of stuff that's like for yourself. And a lot of the stuff is kind of difficult to navigate because a lot of the people writing this stuff are teens and they just don't get it.
Yeah.
You know? And we got to remember that teens are children.
They're working out their feelings.
You're 14, you're a child. Like, you can't be convicted of murder. Like, you can't be expected to not write a smut of your favorite person and not kind of be able to understand that they're a person, because it's really difficult. It's a very hard world to navigate, and I think we should nicely tell them that that's not appropriate and just move on. Like, the amount of like thought that goes into this sort of stuff is like way too much. And it's one of those things where I think we are fixating on the lives of teenage girls, and and it is a constant in society that we make fun of teenage girls and the things that they're into. And yes, teenage girls can be into things that are inappropriate, but they're children. Like, they're children. They're trying to figure out the world.
Yep.
I'm okay having people headcanons for my OCs and stuff. I only thing that's not okay with people is gender swapping my persona. Yeah. Like, I understand. Like, it's a hard world to navigate. Amen. Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with having...
Sorry, and also by teenage girls, I mean teenage girls and queer teens.
Yeah.
There's an umbrella. It's the marginalized teens, and then the boys. The cis-het male teens aren't made fun of in the same way that all other teens are.
Yeah.
Well, okay, there's other intersections, you know. We're talking about privilege now. You know, it's okay to make fun of black teenagers in society.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was just thinking about that. I'm like, what teenage boys can you make fun of? And I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, you can make fun of, like, Fortnite boys.
Yeah.
But it's not as vile.
Yeah, it's not as...
Well, it amongst itself, it's kind of vile.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I guess the ways that you... I don't know. People attack teens all the time, but the way they do it to, like, teenage girls is, like... They do it in such a concern trolly way. Where, like, when they're talking about, like, teenage boy problems, they're like, oh my god, so cringe. But when it's teenage girls, it's like, oh my god, look at you into Twilight. Like, it's bad for your soul. Like, you know?
You're being taught.
9-year-olds plays Fortnite. Yeah, I guess so. That's true.
Yeah.
I make fun of cis-het male teens. That's fine. Like, I'm just talking about, like, broader society.
Yeah.
Obviously, we make fun of teenagers. Well, I don't. People liking things isn't cringe.
No.
Unless it's like, I don't know, Nazis. That's kind of cringe.
It's pretty dang cringe.
It's beyond cringe.
Yeah. But yeah, there definitely is a lot of stigma against the teenage girls and the teenage queers.
Mm-hmm.
For
Hitler was cringe.
for real.
Yeah, mega cringe. I'm gonna go on out on a limb and say like Hitler was kind of a bad dude. Like
Controversial opinion.
Controversy. You'd be texting
Hot
me at
take
this
here.
hour. Twilight is so concerning to me. Like I only heard so much, but yeah, but just let teen girls be stupid.
Everyone is silly when they're a teenager.
Twilight is the double whammy of making fun of teen girls and making fun of women for having sexuality.
Literally.
Men are allowed to have stupid sexuality, and we all are like, haha, it's just porn, it's weird. But girls and women, it's like, wow, this isn't high art. Wow, look at how problematic this is.
It's so infantilizing too, because they'll look at romance, which, don't get me wrong, romance has its problems.
I only like to listen to like lol romance from people who like romance.
Exactly.
Like I like Cindy
Yes.
talking about romance because she obviously likes romance and can make fun of the cringy bits.
Oh,
But
yeah.
people who are like, hi, I'm a cishet white guy. I never read books. Let's make fun of people looking. Let's make fun of some Harlequin. It's like, okay, women know that these books are stupid the same way we know action movies are stupid. Okay, like, God, just leave us alone and let us read our smutty books.
But it's so infantilizing when they come in and they're like, oh, this is teaching women, that it's okay that they're abused by these awful heroes. And it's like, no, we know it's not real.
Yeah.
We're not.
The cringe isn't the women reading it. The cringe is society, a society in which you kind of desire these things. And you shouldn't entirely be ashamed of it. Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get the big herc because a lot of romance tropes are mess me up later in life. Yeah. I hate that because I never know what funny things are. Like, I think you can simultaneously be like, I want more from romance while at the same time not making fun of romance readers.
Exactly.
And just shaming people. Like, and the same thing with porn. Or like, I think porn has a lot of issues, but like, I don't think we should shame people for using it. Like, that's not going to work.
Oh, yeah.
But it's the same with all media. And the amount of like criticism thrown at romance is like undeniably sexist.
Oh, for sure. Because they're not.
Everyone's doing paragraphs. I'm sorry, I can't read all these.
Because people make fun of, say, like, these big action movies for being unrealistic and stuff. But, like, you don't shame. I think Manika's crying to go outside. But yeah, but it's not this. You don't shame a guy who likes. Yeah, you don't shame a guy who likes action movies and call him like amoral for for thinking explosions are cool. No. Hi, Manica. She's saying hey. I like shipping and RPing. I still don't know my stance on romance, man. Romance is good. As someone who loves romance, I read Harlequin romances. I love them. And the thing is, like, if I find one that has a trope I find I don't like, I put it down. And there's so many romances that are lovely and fluffy and have characters who communicate and have heroes and heroines who are awesome
I think
people.
it comes from like critiques out of love are a lot more interesting to me than people who are like don't understand something at all. I'm gonna let her in.
Okay. She did one little bark and then she's like, I will go off.
Are you done?
Yes. She had to do her one yell at the children and on the lawn.
You're going back downstairs.
Everyone likes a good romance story. People with the intention of bad faith. Totally. So many people will critique romance as like under like bad faith pretenses.
Oh, you know what's cringe?
What?
That like gets the same treatment as romance, but it's a lot more valid.
What?
Country music.
Country. Oh yeah, true.
Country music is to romance in the same way. Where,
Oh,
like,
true.
You're allowed to hate romance novels, and you're allowed to hate country music.
True. Huh. I don't quite understand the hate for country music. I'm not a music expert. I don't like the current romance in media, however, I'm not going to make fun of them. I'm a bit of a... What's that? Okay, I'm a bit of a romance study. I look at it and try to look at the dynamic between the characters. High school drama romances are way too dramatized. But what's wrong with a little melodrama? You know, if people like it, it's valid. I love twangy old style country, banjo beats. Totally. There's definitely some country music I like. But I don't know enough about it to like give it a critique, honestly. Whereas like I'm fully versed in romance. So I can talk about that a lot. Yeah. As for Twilight is definitely like a problematic IP because it has like a problem with racism and misogyny. But liking Twilight doesn't make you a bad person. You know? I don't know, man. I be chatting, but I'm a student. What do I know? Hey, you can have opinions about things, even when you're young. People unconsciously love drama, even if they think they hate it. Who doesn't love a little melodrama? It's fun.
That reminds me of like Jim Sterling's video where he talks about, I forget what it was, but he always gets the comment of like, just be more positive. You need more positive content. And he's like, look at the numbers. Like, no one goes for positive content.
For
like,
real.
Like everyone wants a good rant, you know?
You know what? We're a very positive channel, I think. Mm-hmm. We like to encourage people and be nice and stuff. But all of our videos have really like mean titles.
Well, like the mean titles work better than positive titles.
It's true.
Aside from like, start your comic, do this, do that.
Yeah.
But like when I'm mean to you guys, you come here. Like
it's true. You guys want us to be mean to you. You want us to prove that your brain is right about you. But it's not true. You're a good person. Twilight was something else. Hell yeah.
Twilight was wild.
What was bad about Twilight was the idea of ending yourself for your lover. Oh, totally. Like, Twilight has problems.
Twilight has issues. I agree. And I would love more positive content and more queer content. And I just want, like, you know, more variety of content. And I do want... And I think you can critique Twilight. I don't think Twilight is perfect by any means at all. And I do think it was damaging in the same way that I think 50 Shades of Grey is damaging. 50 Shades is a whole other discussion, but like...
It's a whole other kettle of fish.
But the thing is...
Yes.
Is the backlash wasn't good. You know, the backlash wasn't about helping create a more positive space in YA romance. It was about making fun of Stephenie Meyer, like insulting her all the time, being like, I hear that her brother reads all of her emails and only sends her the good ones. I would do that, guys. Like, no one wants an unending barrage of just hate constantly, like IV fed into your brain. No, like... It was making fun of that. It was making fun of the, oh my God, look at these stupid moms for reading this. Like, how stupid do you have to be to enjoy this? Like, there were genuine discussions that are valid and, like, I appreciate them about abuse that is very prevalent in Twilight. Yeah. The whole Jacob thing. Yeah. Like, all of it. Like, there's tons of horrible stuff in Twilight. And it wasn't the best structured book by any means. But, like, that's not what we were focusing on. That's why it's such concern trolling. It reminds me so much of like J.K. Rowling right now, where it's like, I care about trans people in my life deeply. Like, fuck off, lady. Like,
Clearly you don't.
you don't. Like, because you're currently doing all this crap. Like, yeah, it's like Gamergate too, where it's like, we care about ethics and journalism. And it's just like, no, let's just make fun of people and bully them and harass them. Like, that's what the Twilight backlash was about.
Totally.
And like, I don't think Twilight is perfect, but you see this in like romance, where it's just like, romance is bad because it's for women. And let's make fun of, oh, look at these moms who have nothing to do but read shitty books because they're moms and they're stupid. Like, that's the thing.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's like they think Twilight is their god.
Like, no, they just like a thing. Why can't moms like something?
Exactly.
Why do you think moms are stupid?
J.K. Rowling is such a meme. And I don't know tons about Stephanie Meyer, but like, God, like, if I got like an ounce of that hate, like, I don't know what I would have done.
Oh, totally.
Twilight discourse. Don't use all your Twilight discourse, Ursula. We'll have nothing for our podcast.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm not much of a reader, so I don't know. I like Anansi Boys. Don't read it though. Read Honeywells instead, and pretend that I didn't steal a whole bunch of concepts.
Listen, it's homage.
It's an homage. I can't find Anansi Boys. I want to reread it, but I kind of lost it, I think.
I think it's downstairs in the book pile.
The book pile. Gotta shower and go to work. Goodbye. Thanks for stopping by, Battery.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I have a trans friends. Ooh, woo. Time to cut off their life supply. Oh, self-hating trans people are like a dime a dozen. If you are a transphobe and you want to bolster your opinions, go ahead. Pick from the pack. There's always going to be a self-hating trans person because it's beneficial to you. It's like a survival method.
Oh,
it's like,
totally.
oh man, don't worry, I'm not one of the crazy ones. Please, like, literally, like what I was describing to you. It's like, act like you're like, I am a man trapped in a woman's body. I am so ashamed of myself. This is the only way to live. Like, yeah.
Because that's the only way the cis believe you.
Exactly. Like, become a cis bootlicker is like a very good strategy. Okay. And that's why there's a whole bunch of trans people like this that can become your friends. And then you can be like, see, it's okay to be terrible to trans people. You okay? You look like you vanished for a moment.
I just had a moment of like, I remember there was a critique you gave me about this page.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I fixed it. Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
It was because we had the fawn point.
Yeah, in armor.
Right.
Because a fawn point would never be in armor. Because why would you... Sending fawn points to battle would be so stupid.
It'd be like sending an army of Fado into battle.
It's worse, though. Because, like, what happens when a fawn point loses their last soul is they... or someone loses their last soul near a fawn point, they're, like, brought back to life. Like, if you would bring your enemy back to life and eventually die yourself.
It's the worst plan.
Bootlicker, I'm. I said trans bootlickers. Everyone's quiet now.
I know.
They heard my rant and they were like, oh no. They're like taking notes.
It's totally like the corset thing. It's like, oh, this is something that women like. Let us destroy it.
Yeah, totally.
In public opinion. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's constantly happening. It's like, oh man, it's literally the corset thing. It's like, oh man, romance novels have problems. Oh no, we need to take these away from women and like instruct them to read better things. And if women find something that is even better, like they find something new, they're like, oh no, women like this. Like, how do we destroy it? Yeah.
I hate whenever I'm looking at like a romance book that I don't like, that like drives me up the wall because it's got like full of problems, and I find someone who's like critiquing it and I'm like, yeah, you're totally right, and then they bring up some misogynistic point and I'm like, no, you're one of those.
Oh, that's such a mood.
Like, yeah, it's like, oh no, I'm not your friend actually.
Oh, it's such a mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just like, oh, I hate this book and I want to hear someone rant about it. And then you hear them rant and they're just like a racist. And you're like, oh God, am I a racist for not liking this? Yeah.
Well, it's like whenever I try to find people dishing about the Akatar books, and I'm just like, everyone just skims over the whole awful lesbian representation.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
Please.
Please, someone.
Literally the same thing happened in ancient Greece with the flower crown.
Oh, really?
It's been happening since the beginning of
Oh
time.
my god. I love those old
Deeper pockets in jeans.
I like those old writings from like the ancient Greek times where it's like parents complaining about their teenagers.
All right. Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's so good. It's always been like this.
Yeah. We've always been complaining about teens and we've always been misogynistic. Well, not all societies have been.
Totally.
But like, deeper pockets. I want pockets and everything.
Hell yes.
Please pocket me.
Me and Bones' brother's girlfriend.
It's so. What's the word for it?
Right? We need a word for it. But we were talking about how we should open a business called Pockets, where we just like resell used clothing, but like put pockets in it.
Yes.
In like skirts and stuff.
Yes. What do you call that?
Right? Your siblings' SO. Like,
Yeah.
what do you call that?
Ryan, just marry her. Quick.
Do it.
So I can easily talk about her on stream. Cindy's videos about the fairy books are nice. Yes.
I do love her videos on the fairy books.
Yeah.
She did just skim over the lesbian stuff, though. I was disappointed.
Yeah. You're like, "Eh." Well, part of it is like you get to that and they're like, oh, and then she rants about being a lesbian. Like, how boring. It's like, that's not why it's bad.
It's bad because
Yeah.
it's the one gay narrative where they have to hate themselves.
Yes. Every gay must hate themselves.
It's bad because the main character shames her for not coming out to her sooner.
We need more pockets and pouches and everything. Fanny packs.
Yes. Fanny packs.
I have a fanny pack in Animal Crossing that Lul's wearing. I haven't like changed from being Lul in Animal Crossing. Like I used to play as myself, but now I've just been Lul because I haven't decided. Oh, I'm playing Animal Crossing again because I hate myself. No, it's because my dad died and like I just was like looking. I don't know. I just needed a game that was stupid. Like you didn't need a brain, and it also like.
My goodness.
I just, like just a really repetitive loop. Let me into your island? No. Like, it just has such a repetitive loop. And I hadn't played all the new stuff, and I'm good. Yeah. Then there's me, a guy having enough pockets, and it makes me feel bad every time I hear about it.
Donate some of your pockets.
I hate pants. Buying pants for my big ass is hard. Dumb furry game. I gotta go. Head out. Hell yeah. Donate us your pockets. Everyone thinks that I'm a minority. That the minority are small. Sorry, I can't read it. I can't play Animal Crossing because the whole not playing for long periods of time and coming back instills so much guilt. It's fine. Okay, the new one's pretty forgiving. I hadn't played in 2 months and no one guilt tripped me.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, they were like, oh, I haven't seen you in 2 months. And no one had left. And there wasn't there was like weeds, but it was kind of fun to pluck them.
That was always sad when you come back and like your favorite villager was gone and you're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No one really left. The fact that they didn't get the correct coffee at Starbucks. What? Something? What?
Huh?
What?
Missing context.
Yeah, I'm missing so much contact.
I have enough pockets because I don't carry around anything.
All right.
Animal Crossing was very rude. They would like attack you on a personal level. Those villagers. I want a game that's like Stardew Valley, but it's all like furries.
Yes.
I know there's mods for Stardew where you can make it furries, but like I just want cute animals who live in a town and you do fun stuff.
I
I
miss
guess that's
rude
Animal Crossing.
They
Listen,
won't leave.
I just want indie Animal Crossing.
They won't leave without your permission in the new game. Yeah. But Eugene's leaving. Hell yeah. No vlogs. Fine. I have a bunch of vlog footage that I have to put up. I'm sorry. I'm so bad.
Never forget.
We set up our new computer. It's really nice.
It is nice.
Feeling weird because YouTube doesn't let me write essays, and now everyone doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. I've never played any Animal Crossing games but I want Animal Crossing New Horizons so bad. Furry Elvis. That's why I'm glad they ask before they leave. My son's tried to leave more than once.
Oh no.
I want mine to leave. I only have one guy that I like. We have the wolf guy,
Oh,
the
yeah.
old man wolf.
I love him.
He's just me.
It's so sad. We still haven't found any cats.
Yeah.
Not a single cat.
We have a bull that moved in named Stu.
Oh, okay.
He's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I know we could go villager hunting or whatever, but that takes so much time.
Leah from Stardew Valley is a furry, I'm sure. I think she wants, like, anthros rather than people who are furries.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, like, yeah, anthro. Like Animal Crossing villagers, but, like, in a Stardew type game, or even, like, an adventure-y game.
Yeah. We're just, like, running out of steam here. Last 15 minutes.
I think we're getting tired. It's hot. I'm, like, sweating
Oh, no.
profusely.
Do you want to go get us water?
Okay, I'll get some water.
Yeah. Go stretch your gams.
Can't stop these.
Okay. My thing is falling. Hello, guys. It's just me and you. It's just me and all 72 of you. How's it going? I'm noticing that there's only 58 likes on this video. Are we not good enough for you? Like, I've had, like, a hard week, right? Oh, my goodness. I still have all the same problems with Animal Crossing, but at least there's, like... I think I just got burnt out on it. It's, like, really easy to burn out on it. But now I'm... Whoa, someone liked my trans visibility post from 2019. Who's just... Whomst? Who would do something like that? Oh, there's so... I want a robot litter box.
Yes.
They're so cool. Like, I thought they would be poopy, but they're like... But they're, like, actually work, apparently. And there's, like, a 90-day return thing. So if your cat are like, I only poop in a box which my human slaves clean, like, if they're like that, it can just be returned. But, oh, my God, like, oh, thanks for all the likes. We finally have more than we have here, so that's good.
Aw, bless.
Peer pressure. I was the third car. Gotta wait though. Yeah. Ursula was supposed to pay off her taxes.
Oh, shoot.
And then we were gonna buy a robot litter box so that we never have to touch poop again.
Okay, I'll pay my taxes tonight.
Okay, help me pay mine too.
Okay, we'll pay our taxes.
I need to pay off my credit card debt because unlike taxes, it's gonna become more... Oh, there was an Am I the Asshole this morning?
Mm-hmm.
I watch Marky. That's the one who reads the Reddits that I listen to.
He's our Aussie husband.
Exactly. And it was about... So they were going to get married.
Mm-hmm.
I think. They were like fiancés.
Okay.
And he was going to pay off, like, she had like $6,000 in debt, and he worked at like trade, and she'd not really gone to like college or whatever. And he was like, okay, I can pay that off. Mm-hmm. And so I think they're like moving in together or whatever, and they're like getting their life together. and he gets like a debt collector to him, and the debt collector is like, oh, you owe $100,000,
What?
and owes a relationship advice, and it turns out his girlfriend had been hiding the fact she had $100,000 in like credit card debt,
Oh no.
and she was going to tell them after they got married.
No, don't do that.
And he's like, I love her, but I'm kind of thinking of like cutting it off with her entirely. I'm like,
Oh,
that's awful.
yeah.
That's so awful. Like hiding that from him
Cause like at
because
least
she
if-
didn't want like him to leave her because of it. And it's like, that's with you. Like that's information he should know.
Yeah, cause like if he knows about it up front, you could make a plan to do something.
Yeah.
But like hiding it, like
But
that
it's
is
like-
such a breach of trust.
Yeah, and like he says he has the money to like cover it, but like they probably wouldn't be able to get like a house and like do all that stuff. It's like that is such a breach of like trust. Like I worry about like what else she would hide in the future.
Oh, totally.
Especially it's like and like what are her financial skills like? Like I wouldn't trust her with money. Because it wasn't like 100,000 in like student loans, which would be like understandable. Like credit card debt.
I mean, if you just all you do is pay with credit card and you never pay it down,
Yeah.
after so many years, it's gonna pile up.
How do you even get that kind of debt? Right? Probably payday loans too.
Payday loans. If you got like a car,
Never get a payday loan ever. Okay.
No, they're a trap. Don't do it.
Never, ever, ever. If they're like,
It's
because
too good to be true.
yeah. Dude, oh my god, yeah. What is she buying? Right?
Yeah. Goodness.
Like I can't even imagine that money.
God, yeah.
Like I can't even imagine like going to school, guys. Like God. Wait, who are we talking about? My stream caught up. I was just a Reddit story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't hide things from your significant other.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
That's horrible.
Cause like,
It like I understand not bringing it up on the first date, but
Oh,
if you're
totally.
like planning to only tell him after you're married to him, like that just feels like kind of like entrapment. Like a little bit.
a
like
little bit.
like, oh, we're married now.
Here's
Yeah.
here's some baggage. It's like what?
Yeah. That's why I'm waiting for buying my third car, earning enough for it first. Yeah. I
It's a
can
good plan.
I can't spell. It's a kitty face. Looks fade, stupid is permanent. Looks fade, stupid is permanent. Yeah.
Is this from Am I the Asshole?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it?
No, it was
relationship?
relationship advice.
That's another wild one.
Relationship advice is wild. And
I love the ones where it's like, my boyfriend tried to kill me. Should I leave him? It's like, run.
yeah, it was the one where like the girl was like, my boyfriend choked me and locked me in the basement, but he let me out. Like, should I, like, what should I do? And everyone was like, leave right now.
Everyone was like, run. Pack a bag and run.
Yeah. The stories are so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many people that think it's okay to just like let your queer sibling not have any inheritance because your parents are homophobic. And when I brought this up, my brother made like a face and I'm like, I think you would do this to me. He was
'Cause
it's kind of like a, well, it's their money. It's like, oh,
So
I'll
you would
fight you.
you do the legal but immoral thing?
I see how it is.
You'd side with the homophobes.
Yeah.
Totally. Because it's so many people where like their gay sibling got cut out of the will
Because they're gay.
because they're gay, and then so they get all the money and they're like, well, it would be enough to like pay off my house and put my kids through school and stuff. But it's like, or you could give a portion to your sibling who was cut off unjustly for hateful, awful reasons.
Yeah.
Or
they'll be like, then they'll justify it. Be like, well, they're not really good at money, and they're not
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. It's like maybe they're not good at money because they were disowned from their family.
right.
You know, God,
Mm-hmm.
God, awful. I can't imagine doing that.
No, be terrible.
Yeah. It's so rude.
The rudest.
The rudest.
Do I want to be a good person or do I want money? I mean, that's also the question of capitalism.
There was like an Am I the Asshole that was about like a kid who found out that their parents never changed their life insurance policy while they were growing up, so that all their money would go to their cousin
Yeah,
if
not
they
their children.
died instead of the children. And the child was like, what? And they're like, it's okay, they would have done the right thing. It's like, no, you don't know that. And like someone was like, it's like you it would be like telling them that when you were a kid we never put you in a car seat, and you can't be mad because you turned out fine.
You didn't die.
You didn't die. Like, what's the problem?
It's like, no.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I hope I never am that kind of person. It's French
Hurry up.
toast night
I'm
tonight.
so excited for
I
French
love
toast.
French toast.
So good.
Maple syrup. Charlie, shut up. Don't even say it. We all know. Chad is quiet again. I think there's this thing with YouTube. I've noticed it is actually true that around the hour and a half mark, it stops showing up in search results for people. So you'll see a drop in viewers. We've gone like down 30 around the hour mark. Like, you're not supposed to do extended streams. Rather, like, Twitch is more suited to that.
Speaking of Twitch, I've been thinking about doing like once or twice during the work week, doing like a little stream.
Yeah,
On
try to
art.
get the Twitch thing up again.
Yeah, because I want to. It's fun. I just
Same
need
with
to like
vlogs.
set a time and do it. I also kind of want to stream Sims, but we'll see. I should get my work done first.
Also, make sure you have all the streamer mods on Sims.
You're right. Oh yeah, I should probably get rid of some.
Yeah, yeah. We have the sexy mods on Sims for research purposes.
Research.
We're adults. We're allowed to have sexy Sims if we want. Shut up.
I was playing Sims. There was really good consent in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I had like this married couple, and like whenever they would like go to do the dirty, it would always have like a little message pop up of like, "Do you wanna?" And you could say yes or no, and I was like, "Oh, that's
good.
so nice." Also, good gameplay, so they're not just running off and doing it all the time.
Yeah. It's probably in your settings.
Mhm.
Research. Yes, research.
Listen, don't make fun of me for my romance novels or my Sims mods.
Yes, exactly. Y'all are freaks who watch your Sims Wii. It's funny because sometimes the pee animation happens before they're sitting down.
Have you noticed? I don't know if it's a mod, but there's like fire will show up in the.
That's the pee.
That's the pee.
That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes they won't be sitting down and like the pee animation is happening and it's not connected to them, so it looks like fire.
I know. 'Cause,
It's
like,
supposed to be kind of like just like a yellow underneath or something.
Oh, okay. Because I was playing. I think I had my sim at the gym, and like from above there was like a bathroom, so you could just see like fire coming down from the ceiling.
I've noticed
I
that.
was like, stop.
We're talking about Wicked Whims, I swear. Yeah.
Listen.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm talking about Wicked Whims. The pee is fire. It looks like fire. It's true.
Fire. It looks like a little fire effect.
I used to have like stream mode on where like it would blur them while having sex. Like, because honestly, I just wanted to have like thruples. Like that was my main contention. Was
basically.
like I wanted the in-depth fertility system, and I also wanted to be able to have three Sims have sex, and not just be limited to the bathroom and the other.
Oh yeah, totally.
There's just too many spot limitations, right?
Yeah.
And like I just wanted to have healthy sexual dynamics with my Sims. That's it. And then I just kind of got bored when there'd be like this giant blur that I couldn't see past. So I got rid of it.
Fair.
Like I didn't want to watch them do it. It's just funny. I just wanted them to be able to have fun.
I'd actually.
What?
I'm such an asexual. Whenever my Sims go off to do it, I always turn the camera away.
I do too.
I just go do something else.
Yeah,
It's when they're
totally.
in the bathroom where I'm like, I don't care. I'm not gonna watch this.
100%. Everyone's always flexing their good sim games while I'm stuck on the mobile
Oh
game.
no. A mood.
My mom is in the same room as me. She can hear. Oh my god. It's funny.
That's very funny.
Listen, I support healthy dynamics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you just want to have like an immersive game.
Yeah. Also, Sims can kind of get boring.
Yeah, true.
Imagine doing the woohoo and you can't see your partner because they're blurred.
Like, you think it's like entirely within the world. It's not just like for gameplay.
I think what's funny is like my mom might hear this. 'Cause she sometimes watches my streams at like bedtime
That's
and
so
like
sweet.
my stepdad will like hear my voice in the bed and he's like, "What?" So apparently they got like these headphones that they're like these headbands that are for like jogging.
So they're like, it's earphones, and then it's like a band across their forehead with buttons on it.
Oh yeah, the buttons are on the forehead.
It's amazing. And like, your mom was like, I never go out with it, but I totally use the buttons. It's great. It's so cute.
My mom's adorable.
I love her. She's so sweet.
Yeah.
She's so supportive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mama Bones is very sweet.
Mama McKay. Pay for premium sub to see your partner. While you pay. I saw a great post on Twitter. It was like, normalize OnlyFans for your OCs.
Oh my god.
I want Lul's OnlyFans.
Oh no.
He would.
He would. He
If
would
he was
be the
in the
person
modern
on
world,
there.
hell yeah.
Him and Aurora.
Yes. Aurora.
Oh my god. June
Aurora
High.
is 100% like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do what you love and you never work a day in your life.
Hell yeah. It's 4:00.
We can leave if we're ready.
Cool.
Are you ready?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm fine to do
I'm
some
having,
more.
having a good time.
I'm having a good bop.
I'm vibing.
I'm popping with y'all's jives if you want to hang out still.
I feel bad for this
I have 2
cat.
cars and no Sims. Blue?
That's funny because there's no cars in The Sims. I don't think you'd like it.
Yeah.
At least in Sims 4.
Yeah, they got rid of cars.
Mm-hmm.
Cars.
Cars. What I always do is I grab a toy car and I size it up so it looks like they have a car
Yes.
in their driveway.
Yes. You can also find them in debug
Oh, you're right.
if you open debug.
I need to get into looking at debug stuff
Yeah.
because there's so much possibility.
Yeah. Do who you love and you never work a day in your life. Yes.
I love
Having
the
fun
badums.
talking about Sims sex life. We're sex positive asexuals.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. You can't leave us in the middle of sex ed.
Sex ed. Sex ed with Bones and Ursula. Listen, okay, people don't understand the uterus. The
No.
uterus is a complicated devil.
I didn't understand the uterus till I had like hormone problems.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Until you've had
Well,
surgery. Like
right?
there is so much to it.
it's wild.
You're both ace. Yeah, we're both
Yeah.
ace. Yeah.
We were talking to a social worker once and they were like, it's so magical when 2 aces find each other.
Yes. Imagine how the sex repulsed ace are doing right now. I mean, we're like on the scale of sex repulsed.
Totally, but you can be sex positive and be repulsed by it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's
'Cause-
part of the sex positivity.
Totally. I support other people going off, banging all they want. I just don't want to myself.
I'm miffed by sex. I like all the things around it, but like the actual no.
I do kind of skip through the sex scenes in romance books.
Same.
I read the build up and then I'm like, skip, skip, skip.
Yeah, it's all foreplay.
Totally.
Yeah, the foreplay and then they go to sleep.
Yep, exactly.
That's
I love
the ideal relationship.
I just want the fade to black. ...
Mm-hmm.
As June calls it, the raw chicken slaps. We just don't read that part.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I am having a crisis between being forever alone or having to surrender and be sexual relationship and not die alone.
No.
No!
Don't go with anyone who forces you to do sexual stuff you don't want to do.
You will find another asexual person.
There are lots of people who are in relationships, like ace people with allo people, and it works.
Exactly. And there's more and more asexual visibility every day. There's a lot of people who wouldn't have identified as ace and would have like forced themselves through this stuff in the future, like just because they feel like it's normal. And you're fine, okay?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
You'll find a romantic partner.
You are not doomed to be forever alone.
Exactly.
Okay? You'll have the same hard time that everyone else does with love.
True. Love's hard for everyone.
Yeah.
Even
There
the
needs to be like
owls
an
have trouble.
asexual dating app.
Yes. I bet there is one.
I just want a cuddle buddy. The asexual life.
Yes.
I'm sex
Yeah.
repulsed. I don't care as long as there's no details. That's fine. I used to be more sex repulsed. Like, okay,
My mom can't hear this. Okay, good.
okay. I used to be more sex repulsed, but then I started writing smut for the money, and like, I'm fine now.
I'm an arrow person married to an ace person, and we're doing great. That's so lovely.
Exactly. You just gotta love.
Exactly.
You'll find someone, okay?
Totally.
Kind words. Yes, ace date up, please. You can find aces. Okay, they're lovely. And the best part is you can do long distance dates a lot easier because you're both ace and you're not necessarily looking for physical intimacy. And you don't have to worry about sexual compatibility as much. If you're just like, I'm in Europe, you're in Canada, neither of us like the raw chicken bit. So, like, let's just work on our emotional thing. And then you hang out and yeah.
Hell yeah. Aces flock together.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's me, the ace arrow, who actually wants friends who's okay with cuddling.
Hell yes.
Yes. Cuddle friends is good. I hate
Yeah.
cuddling. Cuddling is stupid, but you do you. I'm romantic, but I'm not sensual. I don't like cuddles. I don't like hugs. I've apparently never liked hugs, which
Yeah, even when you were a baby, you were like, no.
yeah, and yeah, I'm just not a snuggly person. I can be on the rarest of rare occasions, but for the most part, not really snuggly. I'm more snuggly when I'm RPing. When I'm pretending to be someone who cuddles, I can like pretend and do the cuddles, but like I don't tend to like do it as myself, which is funny. Yeah. I'm surprised you never noticed that. You always are like, you've remarked.
I guess it's because we're just RPing and I'm just like in the story.
Yeah. Ursula hugs me too long and then I just kind of like drop down.
He's like, no. He wiggles out.
Yeah, I'm like a cat.
I've learned not to prolong hugs.
Exactly. Don't prolong a hug. I'm dangerous. Watching him. Lol. Oh, same blue. I just want a best friend who I can cuddle. That's literally my marriage.
True. Just best friends with cuddle time.
When I found out that there was another ace person at my school, I was practically jumping. If I wasn't so socially awkward, I would have interacted with them more. Aw. You'll find other ace people. There's lots of ace people, okay? You guys have always existed. You're fine.
I find a nice thing about speaking with other ace people is they're really excited to tell you they're ace, myself included.
Yeah. It's so funny because you didn't identify as ace as quick as I did.
I didn't. Well, I learned about it from you. You told me a lot about queer spaces. But yeah, I didn't think I was ace for a long time because I do have some like I guess sexual feelings, but I realized that I'm more like demi ace or gray ace. I also like gray ace because of my name.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. I remember that being like, what if you're a gray ace? And you're like, what?
And I looked into it and I was like, it's me.
Yes.
So yeah. Totally, because ace and arrow probably it's a spectrum.
Yeah, there are all sorts of spectrums. It's very complicated and cool and valid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Grace. Ursula Gray Ace.
Did I tell you guys that
It was so flopped right now. It's
I know,
adorable.
It's a little hot afternoon for a little dog. Did I tell you guys about how so we're from Canada, so we had French
A.
classes. A.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yes, I love
so,
this.
so my last name is Gray, as you know.
No,
So,
they don't. Some people think I'm gray.
True. So they. Right, so whenever I had to write my name in French class, I would always translate my name to the French version of Gray, which is like Gris.
Yeah, she'd be like, "I'm Ursula Grey," and they'd be like, "No, no, Ursula, no."
That's not how that works. And I'm like, no, I'm Ursula Gris.
I tried coming out to my mom, and she was like, she keeps telling me not to decide yet, and I'm like, "It's not a decision,
Oh my
Mom."
god, no, Mom.
I always felt awkward because like my family was like super sex positive, and I felt bad. I felt like I wouldn't be accepted.
That's like the opposite of most people's families.
Right? Like my family, like my dad in particular, is like really sex positive. Like he's like poly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. My dad is like big vegan poly energy. It's fine. It's cool. So like the concept of monogamy isn't something like I've super been set on all my life. Though I ended up being super monogamous and super non-sexual, which is
True.
funny.
That is very funny.
Yeah. Like the option was there. It was just like, it's not my thing. I don't like tons of people. I couldn't handle that. I don't think you was enough.
Yeah, I don't think I'm
Whenever
made to
you
be
look at those
poly.
like relationship advice things where they're like, we tried an open relationship to fix our marriage. I'm like, that's not how it works.
It's like,
If you can't handle your relationship with one girl, you're not going to handle it with 7.
totally. It's like you have to be in a good place.
Also, I feel like you have to come into the relationship with that, or both of you need to be like, man, wouldn't it be fun if we had more partners? And they're like, oh my God, it would be so fun if we did that. Like, we should do that and not be jealous about it.
Because like when your relationship with your monogamous partner is having problems, that's not the time to open the relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yes.
There's like a concept in like poly relationships that's something like jealousy, but it's like it's to describe a feeling that you associate with jealousy, but it's actually like, man, I'm really happy for them, and I'm kind of sad that I don't get to experience this right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where it's like, I'm really happy that my wife is with someone right now that she loves. Like, that's so great for her. And it's not jealous, but it's like, it's a feeling of kind of similar to jealousy.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Where you're like, man, I also would love to be with her. They're so lucky.
I guess
Yeah.
I can understand that. Not in
Yeah.
a relationship sense, but like with other aspects of life where it's like I'm really happy for them, but man, I wish that was me. But that doesn't make me any less happy for them.
Oh my God, we're not going to talk about babies. I hate the whole. Okay, the talk about hating kids and crotch goblins always leads to the antinatalist thing, which is just okay. And antinatalism is just a fancy way of hiding eco-fascism. So there's my hottest, spiciest take. It's like, it's okay if you don't like kids, but like the amount of kid hate and these like concepts of like, oh man, having kids is destroying the universe. It's the same as being like, man, maybe humans are the real virus. It's like that's just eco-fascist.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, don't be mean to kids.
Yeah. And whenever
Kids have it hard enough.
And whenever people are talking about like, oh man, like I want like, wouldn't it be nice if like the population like would slow down? Like there's some countries, some brown countries, that it would be great if they stopped reproducing so much. Like that's always where it goes down.
And it's like, wow, it's not cool.
Okay, it's not always where it goes down, but it's where these kind of like thoughts lead. Like kill every human, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it. Makes me nervous.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I agree that you shouldn't pressure people who want kids to not want kids. Like, that's pretty cool. Kids are cool. Wouldn't mind being parent. Like, it's fine. Like, it's cool. Yeah, I think any decision is valid. It's one of those like things about like women's bodies, or I guess like people with uteruses bodies,
Yeah.
where like there's lots of issues to it. Well, I guess it's a woman body thing mostly, and who society views as women, where it's like because cis people don't want trans people reproducing, so it's about women. It's like telling women that doing this thing makes you free, therefore we're banning you from doing the other thing, is such fucking bullshit. It's like, I don't want you wearing tank top. I think women should be allowed to wear bikinis because it makes them liberated. Therefore we're banning one-piece swimsuits.
Yeah, it's like, no.
Like, yeah, like, I think women should have the choice on whether or not they want to have children or not. I think parents should have the choice. I agree that pregnancy is like dangerous and something like you should really think of. And if you don't want to have a kid, that's fine.
Yeah. No shame.
Yeah.
Totally. It's like it reminds me of like trad wives, where it's like,
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Oh, sorry. Someone
sorry.
just like, my mom said if I don't have kids, I won't be happy. That's bullshit. Like,
oh,
you,
totally.
yeah, it's up to you.
Exactly. It's totally cool if you never have kids. Totally cool if you want kids. It's all good.
I think I get sensitive about it because I've had this discussion before, and I think it's because I am like an LGBT person, where while women are expected to have children, as an LGBT person, there is a lot of social pressure to sterilize yourself.
Yeah.
There like, you might not even realize how much it exists and how much pressure like you subconsciously have like absorbed. Like, in the end, like, if you don't want kids, you don't like kids, that's fine. But you know how like I was talking about wanting hormones and trying to convince myself that like I didn't want hormones. I think children is the same way for a lot of like queer people, where it's like you internalize ideas like it's bad for kids to have like two moms, or my kids will be bullied if I have them because they would have two moms, and like I don't want to contribute to that. Like, there's like all these kind of ideas that will like steep within you, and I think it's important as an LGBT person to consider where you stand on that stuff. Like, have like a good think about it and come up with your answer like after that, rather than just immediately going with your gut instinct of like, I don't want kids, or like, I'll just adopt, and like just not even like think about like all of those aspects to it. Yeah, it's just, there's like a really big pressure like on people, because like the whole history of like trans surgery and trans acceptance comes down to like, has a lot of sterilization involved in it. Like, in Canada, when I was in high school, right? Like, when I was in high school, no, I was out of high school, actually. When I was out of high school, the only way to get your gender marker changed was to have some form of bottom surgery, which would sterilize you. It's like, yeah. And that's why, I don't know.
Yeah.
But gay people can have kids, adoption and surrogate biology, have two moms, two dads. It's not a biggie. The thing is, it's not a biggie, but there is a lot of societal pressure. And you need to realize that like a lot of the people who can have kids now in what is now a more accepting society, you grew up in a world where like trans people, like, the trans people are expected to be sterilized. You grew up in a world where gay parents couldn't legally marry. Like, no one who is of children having age right now grew up in a world where it was legal to marry within like America, you know, and it might not even have been legal to like adopt a child necessarily.
Yeah.
And I just know that it's a very complicated like situation, and it's very easy to kind of like write yourself out of it. And if you honestly don't want kids, like that's perfectly valid. That's super fine. That's super cool. Like I think again, it's like it's sort of like sex positivity, right? Where like it is perfectly positive to also be asexual. Yeah. I don't want to go through that. I wouldn't mind adopting though, but at the end, with someone who isn't a man, then reproducing kind of creeps me out. Yeah. I think that I'm also just an advocate for like increased kind of visibility for queer family structures, because a lot of like non-binary trans men people might want to use their uteruses but feel like a really big social pressure against it because of discrimination. And I'm like, you do you. I'm proud of you. I think queer families are the best families. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I do also
That's my rant.
Here's my rant. I've noticed how similar to how we talked about how like the corset talk in romance novels, I think there's also a huge stigma against pregnant bodies, and like it's misogynistic because you know the cis world thinks that it's only women who get pregnant, even though non-binary people and trans people can get pregnant as well. Intersex people as well.
Yep.
But I think there's a lot of, I think part of it too is fear, because I know as a teenager I was really afraid of pregnancy. It sounded really scary to me. And also, I was told by, like, every man in my life and and honestly, every parent in my life how, like, horrifying it is. And it's like,
yeah,
even though that's not the only...
It's a body horrification of pregnancy, which is, like, yeah.
It's a natural thing. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. Does non-binary spectrum fall under trans umbrella? There are two umbrellas that intersect. Mm-hmm. There's a Venn diagram. Yeah. You can be trans non-binary, or you could just be non-binary, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And I think that's what makes me uncomfortable about these conversations, where I'm like, I think it's valid to not like kids. I think it's valid to not think that pregnancy is right for you. But there's just like so many layers of like misogyny and like fat phobia that comes with pregnancy, and just policing bodies in a way where it's just like pregnancy is this vile thing where like
there's a weird alien creature inside you,
and you get all bloated and disgusting, and it's like, chill, okay? Like we're talking about human beings. Yeah,
totally. So that's my thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then it's worse if you're a trans or non-binary person.
Totally.
Yeah.
You got even more policed.
Totally. And I think I also don't like to be crappy about pregnancy or even periods.
Yeah.
Tons. Like, I guess talking about the ills of periods, but like just like stigmatizing that kind of stuff, because it sucks for people who want to have it and can't have it.
Totally.
Where you're just like, oh, you wouldn't want it. It's so shitty anyways. It's just such a crappy thing to feel. Because, like, periods are, like, such, like... I don't know. It's probably because of, like, TERFs, too, where it's just, like, this is what it is to be a woman. And just to be excluded from that, it just feels kind of crappy.
Totally.
Where it's like, everyone has period stories. That stuff's fun. Like, that's the best part of having a period. Is just, like, talking to each other about it and complaining. Mm-hmm. Bro, I just got here, and the first thing I hear is pregnancy and fat phobia. Lamau.
Hello, welcome to our stream.
Hello. Fat phobia is real.
It's so real.
People seem to think... I don't know. I love just, like, the straw man of, like, the fat acceptance movement. Where it's just, like... people seem to think like the fat acceptance movement is like the feeder culture.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Period stories are great, right? It's such a bonding thing.
Totally.
Imagine being able to comfortably talk about your period. Are you like a trans guy? Because, like, if you have another trans guy friend, that shit's the best. It's just like just being with your bros talking about your period. Where you're just like, man, I just want to die when it happens. You're like, oh my god, same.
Bless.
Yeah, Shark Week.
Hell yeah.
I was so surprised when people haven't normalized periods. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shark Week is such a good term for
I
it.
know, I love it.
Ursula's PMS is she's fighting terrorists because she's in Die Hard.
Yes, I'm in my brain going through the vents.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, if she yells, it's because she's fighting terrorists, and I'm like, hey, I'm not one of them, and she's like, I'm sorry. You know, she's preoccupied.
Totally. Be nice to people with PMS.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really out of your control.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk, but you know, you're in pain.
Totally.
It's understandable if you're not yourself.
Totally. I'm still freaking out over the fact they noticed my comment.
Hello, we see you.
The chat is very quiet right now.
Yeah.
Like, also, because I haven't been reading everyone's paragraphs, because we're in like big discussion mode, so people are like doing like really big paragraphs, and I'm just like, man, I can't even read.
Oh my god.
I thought I was gonna die during one of my periods, and everyone had to keep calming me down.
Oh, no. I've had that.
Bad.
That was like, so I
If you have really bad periods, like, get that stuff checked out.
See if you have endometriosis or
Yeah.
is it
PCOS.
PCOS? That's
Yeah.
it. Because I didn't know that I had endometriosis, and I thought my periods were normal, even though, because I was told, like, you know, periods are painful, everyone has discomfort, or like it can be painful, and I was like, okay, so mine must be normal. And then every month I'd be like screaming on the floor because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
I'd be like lightheaded and feel like I had that. It's a feeling I've heard that's associated with like.
Beep. You beep on your what?
But I remember once I just had this sense of doom come over me, and then I just like got lightheaded and had like a huge amount of pain. I was just like curled up on the floor crying.
That's horrible.
Right.
Birth control has helped me a lot.
Mm.
Yeah. Screw the government, by the way, on that. The birth control? God. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling when you see a YouTuber, you like ask for help with their art. One of my friends has really bad periods, and they found it was partially because they had E. coli.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I got checked.
Totally.
If something doesn't feel normal, like, get it checked out. Like, the worst that you can get is someone being like, oh, it's normal, you know? And then you're relieved. You get the little relief of like, oh, this is normal. Though it sucks when you have to go through family doctors who are like, oh, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
And then you get to the specialist and they're like, oh my God, are you okay?
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Ursula had surgery to like
Relieve my
Endo.
endo.
and tear down the wall. She had a heart-shaped uterus,
I did.
which is so Ursula.
I know. I told one of our friends. She was like, "That's so on brand for you."
Good job. I got okay periods with birth control because I have extreme phobias. I can't go to the doctors.
Oh no, that's really tough.
Yeah, I have a phobia of talking to doctors on the phone that I've been working on. Yeah. I got really scared. And then I can't talk, and they're like, hello? And I'm like, uh-huh. Or they're like, do you want to do this? And I'm like, yes. I just say yes to everything. And then I agreed to get needles once a week, which I was trying to tell the doctor that I didn't want to do any needles ever again. And then they were like, okay, instead of doing it like twice a month, how about every week? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure.
Screaming inside.
Her uterus is an aesthetic. It really is. Doing Lionite is like having period cramps for me. I've like, yeah, if you're a guy, sorry, transphobic. Wow, canceled. If you're someone who doesn't have a uterus and has never had one, I think period cramps are kind of similar to indigestion. They're like when you ate like too many Cheetos.
It's coming back to the Cheetos.
It is, and like it feels kind of like stabby pain, like clenchy. Yeah, that was for me. Like I still get cramps, and I'm like, oh no, is my uterus awakening?
Oh no. It's like,
Is she here?
I'm trying to think, because like I know,
Bottom.
because I know mine were like extreme, where it felt like I was
Yeah.
getting stabbed.
Well, you would be
But-
sobbing. Like I literally wouldn't know what to do.
Oh yeah. Well, what could you have done?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
my solution was usually to get you off of the floor in the bathroom because I have to pee sometimes too. So please go die in another room. Thank you. And get you like a water bottle.
True. Yeah. You'd always like give me like a heated blanket or something.
Also because I thought laying on the floor probably isn't the best.
It's just because like I couldn't. It was always just like I'd get to a point where I was just like I can't get up,
Yeah, I
and
figured.
I don't want to sit because it's bad.
Yeah, but then I just tuck you in. I got you a water bottle for
You
Christmas.
did. That was the best.
Yeah.
I use it often.
Yeah, well, stuff's good.
Hell yeah.
Uterus returns. Constipation. Yes.
But yeah, it totally like when it's just like a regular period cramp, it definitely feels just like bad, like really bad gas or really bad indigestion.
Yeah. Wolf Watcher, same. I have to go to a gyno. Not gyno necessarily, but I have to get a pap smear, which is like the stupidest name. Like, I feel like it should be a
Yes.
cervical exam or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Something that sounds more legit.
They-
Pap smear sounds so nasty.
Okay, I know they're scary.
Yeah.
I've never had one. As someone who was terrified of them until I had one, it's a very good exam to get because it is a cancer screening.
Yeah.
And it's literally like 10 minutes of discomfort and then you're good.
Yeah.
And I know it's definitely hard if you say you have dysphoria around it, but it's a really good test to get.
I feel like I should see if I can get it, and if not, then it's time to eat uterus.
The uterus will not return.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're a trans, okay, here's trans advice for the trans children. If you're a trans guy, you don't have to get rid of your uterus. Don't listen to them.
Don't
It
listen to
doesn't
them.
increase your risk of cancer. It makes it a little more hard to detect cancers because you don't have a monthly cycle to track, but it's same with anyone with a regular kind of periods. As long as you just keep up with like regular uterine help, you're good. Also, it doesn't sterilize you. Testosterone hasn't we can't say with definite certainty that you will never have like biological children if you're on T, but it seems to be the case that even if you're on like 10 years of testosterone, people have been able to like get viable eggs. So don't like hold off thinking like, oh no, I should get egg retrieval, which is like $10,000. Like, don't worry about it. You should be fine. Okay. Yeah. Trans women should be more careful though, because I think estrogen and stuff will like ruin the biological potentials of the penis. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's my little chant.
Oh, also, I wish, speaking of pap smears, I wish the language in doctors' offices was like more clear. Because I remember when I was asked, like, before getting, because they don't give you a pap smear unless you're like sexually active, whatever that means.
Right.
And they'd ask me, and I'd be like, nope, because I'm ace.
Yep.
And they'd be like, cool, you don't need one. And I didn't know what it was for. They didn't explain it. So I just assumed I don't need it because that's not having sex with people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wish it was more inclusive.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the reason, like, to defend doctors a bit is they don't really know
Yeah.
if what the risks are if you're never sexually active, because that's not something they study. So like they're
True.
probably just like, well, I guess you should try.
Yeah.
I got a pap even though I'm inactive. Well, I'm glad you did it.
It's a good screening test. because it's really just checks for cancer cells.
And other things.
And it's having cervical cancer is very terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, any cancer is bad.
No. Well, some are like there's like there's ones that like literally can't even spread, and they're basically just you remove
true.
them.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair. But yeah, cervical cancer I've heard is very gnarly.
I'm only saying that because like just to like calm people down, because sometimes you can go to the doctor and they're like, yeah, this is cancer, and you're like, oh god, I'm gonna die. You're like writing your will. It's like, oh no, like it's just like a simple local surgery, get it removed, you're fine.
Oh true. Yeah, and there's benign cancers.
Well, if it's benign, it's not cancer. Cancer is malignant.
What? Then why was I told? Oh, I guess it would be a benign tumor.
Yeah, tumors.
Okay.
Yeah, being told you have a tumor doesn't necessarily mean cancer.
Oh my god, we have 69 viewers. Damn it, you ruined it. We have 70.
How dare
someone leave?
You know what? I don't know enough about cancer. I think there are types of like cancers that are really like, yeah.
What do they do in a pap smear? So it's they
get a little like toothpick. No, it's not a toothpick. It's like a little brushy thing.
They basically get like a little sponge brush and they swipe it or swirl it, I guess, on your cervix.
Yeah.
In order to do that, they do have
Maybe I am the tumor. It's true.
So yeah.
Remove yourself.
It takes like 10 minutes. They do have to like hold open the vagina using a device, which is uncomfortable.
This is going to be our most like demonetized stream ever.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about science here.
Okay.
But yeah. But yeah, it's a good, and
this is our one demonetized stream.
And they just check for cancerous cells.
Yep. It's really simple.
It's really quick.
But it's better than having cancer.
Yes.
Which would be tons of that.
Who cares about demonetization? We do in science.
Exactly. Yes. Like, yeah, because if you do have cancers, right, they're going to have to look in there anyways, like constantly.
True.
They have to do like those kind of searches to determine, like in order to look at like tumors and stuff, if they were like to remove them, they would have to insert things in there anyways, but you also have chemo and have to go through surgery. So instead, do the thing and don't get it, okay? Don't get cancer, okay?
Yeah. You can also like probably talk to your doctor if you're really nervous, which is hard if you're nervous already, but they can probably do things that'll make you more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty understanding, because it's a procedure no one likes.
Yeah. You can also get like a partial pap smear if you're not capable of doing the full thing, like if you have something like vaginismus or other things where they just go as far as they can without any devices.
Totally.
Yeah. Yep. I've always been ashamed of my body because of my female parts, and that's depressing. But I can't help how I feel. Hey, that's really valid.
Yeah.
You know, people who are happy with having like that anatomy, trying to be less demonetizing now. Like people who are happy with that, they're also uncomfortable with exactly that stuff. Like no one's happy about that. I understand that it's much more traumatic.
Oh yeah.
And you're not doomed to get cancers. If you don't feel like you can do that kind of stuff, like look into something like hysterectomy.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's just one and done. You never have to do it again. And you don't have to get a prostate exam. That's where you dance. Okay? Like you only have to worry about your colonoscopy. And that happens at 50. So you're fine. No doctors have to stick their fingers up your butt. You're good.
Okay, we're back to the demonetized.
I don't think doctors sticking I don't think butt would get me demonetized.
Probably not.
I don't even have dysphoria or anything, and I hate showing my body to doctors. Yeah.
Same.
You know what?
It sucks.
You know when you're watching someone do art and you're like, how does that happen? And then you are doing your art and you're just like all you can see is just like it's just art, you know, the layers, the things, whatever. It's doctors. They see bodies all the time. They're not judging you. They're just it's just another part of their day.
That is true.
You know?
There was
someone else's job always seems so more magical and spooky to you.
I was listening to Reply All, and they did an episode like forever ago about apparently there's like a social media quote unquote type app for doctors where they'll post like a weird thing they come across, like a weird injury or something like that, and it's like full of really disgusting medical stuff.
Yeah.
So like if you're a non-doctor, I guess like they kept saying civilians, but if you're like a civilian who's looking at it, you're like, oh, this is horrible and disgusting. But if you're a doctor, you're like, I see this stuff every day.
Yeah.
And like they were talking with doctors and they're like, oh, I didn't really realize that it would disturb, say, like my partner if I ever showed it to them. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, because they're just so used to seeing.
What's been
medical
really
stuff.
interesting is dermatology posts on Twitter, because there's been the whole, talking about black issues, but like dermatology textbooks only have like the diseases shown on white people.
Oh,
And
geez.
I've been seeing like things going around like an Instagram that like compiles what different skin disorders and stuff look on like black and brown skin.
Huh.
And I'm like, that's horrible.
Right?
Yeah.
That's your only resource? Ugh. Mom's comparing us to art layers.
Exactly. You're all art layers. I don't know. It's just like when you do art, it looks, it's just like boring and mundane to you. But like when someone else watches you, they're like, oh my God, how are you doing that?
Right.
It's so crazy.
Totally.
That's a similar thing to like being a doctor, where you're just like,
Like, yeah, whatever.
doctors are stupid. They don't know everything.
Hot take. Doctors are stupid.
No, like, you have to give doctors like a bit of a break sometimes.
Oh, totally. Because, like, yeah.
Especially if they mean well. They have all the same problems that other humans have.
Oh, totally. They have biases. They have.
Surgery is just meaty art layers.
Exactly.
Surgery
doing
is
a-
neat.
You're doing a
Okay.
sculpt.
Surgery was cool. I liked it. I had fun. On the way out, being all loopy.
It was so sad when they took you away.
It was also so cool when, I was really sad too. It was, the whole lead up to it was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
But like having the surgery was like not even a second, but hours passed.
Right? It's so weird. You wake up and you're like,
You know, like when it's like you end a scene and like it's fade to black. That's what it is. It's just
Right.
like, okay, we cut that scene.
I keep trying to remember. I'm like, do I subconsciously?
Oh, what was the
remember
pun I
anything?
made? Oh, right. That surgeries be like cut scene.
Yes.
IRL cut scene or whatever, like something like that. I made a joke. New ideas. Doctors are stupid. Doctors don't. Medicine is so new, guys.
It's surprisingly new.
It's like
It's like less than 100 years old, like medical science.
like literally, there are people alive who are older than medical science. Like,
because like your doctor used to be your barber,
yeah.
you know, and anyone could practice medicine because there was no licensing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, there's tons of stuff where it's like, nope. Like, we don't know. We just don't know.
Did
Yeah.
you know there was a fad where people would eat like mummies, like
no,
mummified?
I believe it though.
Yeah, they thought it was like healing, and it was a cure-all. They thought it cured everything.
Vaccines make me anxious. Why do vaccines make you anxious?
Is it the needle part?
Well, not all vaccines are needles.
You're right.
Fado likes the needle ones more than he likes the oral ones.
That's true.
Fado hates oral vaccines. He tries to spit them out.
You're trying to murder me when you give me
Remember
pills.
when? Oh wait, you weren't there, but Fado bled all over the table
Yes.
because his heart rate was up so high, and he got the needle, and oh, he's such a baby.
He's a little baby.
I heard when people get fat suction, they do a little anesthesia, and some people scream and cry during.
Oh.
Doctors are like, it's fine. They don't remember after.
Oh, is that like the Twilight
Yeah.
gas or whatever?
God, needles.
Where you're aware of what's going on but you forget it afterward?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Just because the body's doing things doesn't mean it's. I don't know. Well, looking into anesthesia, it's the wildest stuff. It's so neat. Like,
very-
thank God anesthesia exists. Can you imagine a world where it doesn't?
Right.
Because, like, that used to be the case.
Oh yeah, used to be like you get an infection. Well, time to
Who's
get
the
it
girl
amputated.
who, like, got a hysterectomy without anesthesia and then left on a horse?
What?
Oh, it was something like that.
I know there was someone. It was like 1900s or 1800s or something like that. In the olden days, there's a woman who gave herself a C-section in her kitchen.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Help.
How? Hoops.
All right. I think we should go.
Okay.
I'm getting a little
I'm a little sweaty.
sweaty. I'm super sweaty.
Okay.
I want to RP with my girl. Lear's touching your
I
peats.
know he's been here just to give me a little pet.
I like this new setup.
Me too.
It's pretty valid.
It's nice. I like
Yeah.
it. Okay.
I feel a lot closer to the microphone.
Yes.
It's a lot easier.
It feels more ergonomic for me to be sat at a
Mm-hmm.
desk.
That's true. All right. Thank you all for coming to this rant about misogyny.
I
See
thought-
you in the next time. I'm ending the stream now.
Bye.
Did it end? Yes.